Thank you for joining us for 50 Fathoms Plot Point Campaign, published by Pinnacle Entertainment Group for the Savage Worlds role-playing game system. Climb aboard, and don't forget to bring the rum. Oh, welcome to our 50 Fathoms actual play. This is episode 1, or session 1, I guess I should say. My name's Dan, I'm going to be a GM, and I have some players here with me. So I have a list here, and I'm just going to go down my list, and I'll just let everybody know. So we're going to start with Bobby. You just want to say who you are and who you're playing, and of course, Bobby, you can talk about what you do.
I can plug. So I'm Bobby. I run the GM's Table YouTube channel, multiple podcasts, all that stuff. Since we're running Savage Worlds, I'll talk about Let's Run Savage Worlds, which apparently some of these people use to learn Savage Worlds rule sets and little rules. So I do that. I do game reviews, all that stuff. But more importantly, today I am Dr. Glug, the Kraken, so Squid Man Doctor, who's a little nuts and talks to his jar and is elderly and will probably cut you before he uses his magic to actually heal you.
Right on. Why don't we go next to, who's next on my list? Mike.
I'm Mike. I do not have a podcast or YouTube channel or anything, but I play and run a lot of Savage Worlds. I'm playing Bill, or Red Bill, or Bill the Red. He's not sure what his pirate name is yet. He's still working on it. He is a red man, a half Ugak, the quartermaster on the ship. He's been on the ship for a long time and knows his way around it. Not as dumb as most red men, he likes to think. But what he loves more than anything is chopping people up with his axes.
Nice, excellent. Next we have Susan.
I'm Susan, and I'm the newest to the world of role-playing games. I've been playing role-playing games for about, 4 months. Just started with Savage World, so I'm definitely the newbie here. In the rest of my life, I'm a lawyer and a comic book writer. And I'll leave it to you to decide which one I prefer doing. My character is Joki. She is a Doreen young woman. She's fairly new to this ship. I think she's been on the ship for about 6 months. She's just really excited to be here. This is her first ship other than the ship she grew up on. She was an orphan who was rescued by a small ship called the Great Caballero, and she was basically raised by Captain Dickie Morris and his merry crew. So she's they've retired from smuggling now, and this is her first opportunity to explore the world on a different ship. She's super looking forward to it.
Excellent. And we're really happy to have you here with us, Susan. And I didn't know you wrote comic books, so we're going to talk about that once we get done with this episode. After Susan, we're going to move over to Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. I have played some Savage Worlds, run a few sessions. So, in my real life, I just work in a deli, so nothing exciting there other than, it means I have a job. I play Sani, a Masakwani carpenter, the ship's master carpenter, in fact. I've been with the ship for about 5 or 6 years, and I looking to see how much money I can make. Because, boy, I like to spend it.
Excellent. That's a noble pursuit. I like it. And our last player for today, we're going to be moving over to Joshua.
Hey, so I'm Joshua. I have a YouTube channel called Josh Speaks with Words. It's not super active right now, but I've been talking about bringing it back. And I'm also a writer in my spare time. I just finished the first draft of my novel and stuff like that. But more importantly, I am playing Morgan McDowell, the Massaquani adventurous gunslinger pirate. So they are sort of a gender-bending, gender-fluid character. So they go by they or whatever they seem to be identifying today, which is usually a he or she. And Morgan is got just a very adventurous side, and they joined the ship probably several months ago, just looking for adventure, and probably also looking to escape a few gambling debts, and then make a few more along the way. But they really are more in it for the adventure than just getting away from those debts. But that helps.
Excellent. And that is part of our crew we're going to be beginning with. And that is our player character part of the crew. And where we find ourselves when we begin this adventure is you guys are all in the employ of Captain Jonas Abraham. He's an Englishman who came as a visitor, as they're known, after the Great Flood. You guys would all know this, but a little backstory for the listeners' sake, if they're not familiar with 50 Fathoms. After the Great Flood, there was people from Earth started showing up in this new place, and they're referred to as visitors, and Captain Jonas was one of the first to actually arrive. So he's been here quite some time, and he makes his living as a smuggler. And because, of course, there's things like the Great Ports Treaty that dictate trade and what's allowed to be done, and he cares nothing about the rules of this new place if it's going to interfere with him making any money. So he sails around Charybdis, mostly just transporting cargo, but doing it outside the reach of the law. And you guys have all been brought on to work for him. Some of you quite some time ago. Some of you are fairly more recent, but everybody has a pretty long length of employment with Captain Abraham. Where we find ourselves today is you're on his ship, the Rebecca, about 20-person crew. You guys all hold officers or junior officer positions. And you're sailing out of Shark Bay, which is a notorious pirate haven. Captain Abraham got a lead on getting some iron ore from the Kieran Empire, which is pretty hard to come by these days. You're going to be sailing out. You're going to go around Tarathka, is the Savage Lands. You're going to be sailing around the south side to stay out of the Pirate Sea, where most of the privateers work, and picking up some ore from one of his smuggling contacts so that you can transport it without papers back out to a buyer. You guys have been on ship 20 days. As you guys make it within a few miles of the shore of the Savage Land, staying pretty close because it will be the quickest path to where you're going, there's a large impact on the side of the boat. As you look over the side, a giant man-eater, which are these like monstrous great white sharks, the biggest one anybody's ever seen, has attacked the side of the ship, essentially smashing a hole through the hull. While this is happening, Captain Jonas is barking orders, getting everybody working their duties, trying to keep the ship upright. But the impact is just too much to bear. And during the chaos, some of the lanterns have fallen over below deck. And a fire has also started. Some of the crew begin to call out that there's a fire below deck.
I'm probably below decks doing like carpenter things. So once I hear that there's a fire, I'm going to curse in Massaquani, and then I'm going to start going and trying to help put the fires out.
Yeah, same. I was going to say, as a doctor, I'd be below deck. I'm going to immediately, with the water I'd always have on hand, because let's be honest, I'm a water mage, just start throwing water with my elemental control.
Okay, yeah, and there's plenty of water outside the ship, too. And so you have a pretty open source of this.
Does grog count as water?
Nobody would dare throw the grog.
So I just rolled a 13 for my magic for activating elemental control.
All right. Yeah, so you are pretty actively fighting this fire. But with the hole in the hull, Captain Abraham has to react quickly, and he is going to beach this onto the Savage Lands. But you may be able to stop this fire. So as Dr. Glug and Sani are below deck, working together with Dr. Glug fighting the flames, and Sani probably doing his best to immediately patch up whatever damage he can as quickly as possible.
Want me to roll anything for that, or?
No, that's okay. You feel the ship hit land. It stops with a sudden jerk. and the captain begins to bellow down below deck, and everyone will be able to hear this because he is quite loud when he needs to be. All right, everyone off the ship. Come on now, we must get onto the beach.
Dr. Glug, why do I have the feeling this is going to be a bad idea among bad ideas?
I don't know. I still just hate leaving the ocean. So, I mean, I'll listen to my captain, but I'm not going to be happy about going on dry land.
He is the captain, so might as well hop to.
And assuming nobody else puts up a stink.
I was going to assume that I'm barking at everybody to just do what the captain said and ushering people off the ship and doing my quartermasterly duties. Also, did my feedback get any better? I changed some settings.
Yeah, I can't hear anything now as we're speaking. So,
And Jokey's also kind of running around on the top of the deck, making sure the crew is sort of salvaging whatever they can, kind of tossing it onto the shore.
yeah. So as everybody gets down out onto the beach, Captain Abraham's going to turn to Bill. Bill, lad, you must send the crew back on. Some of the workers and have them begin pulling what they must off. Have them start with the most important things, and we'll go from there. I know, Dr. Glug. He's able, and he was going to fight the fire, but it's too dangerous to be out at sea during all this, and we must just reassess the situation.
Aye. Order some workers to get to work on the ship and stands by. He's probably he's not a man of many words.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah.
I'll go take a look. If you tell me what the damage is, I'll go take a look, and we'll start figuring out what I can do about it.
The crew begins to work on pulling off some of the more important things, whatever provisions they can, things that might be damaged by the fire, rope and sail, things like that. And he actually tasked some of the lesser crewmen with finishing trying to extinguish these flames. Sends in a couple guys with buckets to just, bail water. And then, of course, as the master carpenter, you'd have a carpenter's assistant, and he sends him in. And we'll name some of these crew as we go on, but as for today, they're just crewmen. Because we all hold officers' positions, the captain will call out, officers, come. And as everybody approaches him, he says, listen, the crew, they can handle the ship, but we must find food in case we're here for a few days. We have near 20 men, and if the food is damaged, seawater got into it, we may be without dinner. So if you, my most trusted people, could go, please try to find us some provisions here on the beach, maybe wild game or fruit-bearing trees, and meet me back here. It will take a few hours for the crew to handle their duties, and I shall keep an eye on them.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
Sounds like fun.
As we're walking away, I'm going to pick up my jar and just say, do not worry. As the captain said, there are 20 men worth of food for you. You will not need to worry.
Now, do any of you actually know about survival? Because I sure don't.
A little bit.
I do a little bit.
A little bit.
I know how to shoot things.
So what you see here on the Savage Lands is you're on a beach. It extends maybe 20 or 30 feet to the edge of the tree line. It's very thick, dense vegetation. This is practically a jungle. You can see some mountains rising up out of the jungle in the distance. I mean, this is just very, I guess what would be most relatable to us would be like, imagine like what you see in like sort of like South American jungle, practically a rainforest. I guess I will leave it to you guys if we're going to head down the beach or if we're going to step into the tree line. That would be the decision to make.
I'll say I think it would be smart to head down the beach. I guess, how far down the beach can we see? Does it like curve around, or is it just a long coast?
It's a fairly long coast. I mean, there is some jutting in and out, but because there's not the beaches has that 20 to 30 foot width, you can have some good visibility. You can give me a notice roll, and everybody can give me a notice roll if they want to see if they can spot anything on the beach that jumps out at them.
I am just so darn excited. I can't really focus.
Anybody who got a success can see off in the distance something on the beach, but it's too difficult to tell what you're looking at. But Sani got a raise, and Sani can make out this shape off in the distance. And Sani is pretty sure that down the beach, just right up on the sand, is the wrecked remains of a much smaller ship than your own.
I'll point this out to everybody. Yeah, I'd like to go and see what we can do for salvage.
Yes, maybe they will be food.
Morgan wants to turn to Jokey and say, I bet you 10 gold pieces that they were eaten by cannibals.
Ooh, you really think so?
I will
Cannibals,
take
that's exciting. Sure, I'll bet that. 10 gold. I got 10 gold.
Leaning in all slimy behind Morgan, Glug will come up and say, I will take a piece of that action, but I do not want your gold. Can you spend 10 minutes with your arm in the jar?
Sure, I can handle that. I also want to note, just for pronoun's sake, that Morgan is wearing her women's clothes today. Although that basically just means having cleavage, and because she wears pants because she's a pirate.
Just for clarity's sake, Jokey wears pants too.
She's wearing her cleavage today.
It's probably a difference between letting her hair down and tying it up in like a ponytail and wearing a hat over it.
Morgan, let's go see, and I'll start running down the beach toward the shipwreck.
Morgan is happy to follow.
When Bill sees you guys running, he just groans.
Oh God, don't run towards it. It could be a trap.
Do not damage that arm.
I hope it's a trap.
Cannibals. That's exciting.
So I will say, for anybody who's not up to date on their lore for 50 Fathoms, outside of character, but for in-character knowledge, you guys would know that the Savage Lands, and you do know that you were sailing around them, especially Jokey, because you were navigating. But everyone else would probably have a pretty good idea. I'm going to say, being officers, you probably discussed like the travel path. Tarathka is the home of the Red Men, which are the savage race of very primitive. And you guys have probably all heard these weird stories. Stories about weird blood magic and cannibalism. Obviously, Morgan is fascinated by their cannibal tendencies. So you guys would have ideas that this is quite possibly what you might find here.
Yeah, Bill is not thrilled to be here.
I'll yell out to the people running ahead. They'll eat you, so don't get too far ahead.
Don't be silly. It'll be fine. Come on, hurry.
Remember, Morgan, they only count as cannibals if they try to eat Bill.
Bill probably takes off at a jog after them just because he's trying to make sure they don't get in any trouble.
All right. So when you guys are just about to this ship, behind Morgan and Jokey, and in front of the rest of the party that's trailing behind since they ran off in a giddy fit, something comes bursting out of the tree line, and separating you guys is a large lizard standing on two legs. It would be recognizable to us in real life as something along the line of a velociraptor. And it bursts forth from the tree line, and it's because it's a split party, he sort of stops and he's craning his head both ways. And from here, we're gonna deal initiative and see what we can do about this. Our first encounter of the campaign.
You owe me an arm, Morgan.
When Bill sees it, he just roars out, "I found the provisions."
I'm going to start drawing my gun, but that's probably part of my initiative.
So I will allow and I ask everyone to use their best judgment on this. If you had your weapon drawn, you may say, yeah, I'd probably have my weapon drawn running down the beach. But if you think that you would have just been walking down leisurely, I'd like you guys to make that call on your best judgment from your character's point of view, where you were just walking on a sunny beach in the middle of the day. And with that said, we're going to start with Morgan drew the ace.
Oh, nice. So Morgan, I feel like she probably didn't have her weapon drawn, only because I feel like with the flintlock pistol, it might be a little unwieldy to run down the beach with it. So I'll take that minus. That's fair for drawing it. But I do think she always keeps it loaded because it takes so long to load.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, so I'll draw my turnout pistol and take a shot. Ooh. All right, I rolled a 11 minus 2 is a 9.
All right, so you got a raise. Look at that, huh? Now that's how
Awesome.
combat's done in Savage Worlds.
Yes.
And then you roll 3 ones for damage.
Yeah.
I had somebody do that with a point blank shot with a shotgun one time in a game, and he was like, he's like, I hate Savage Worlds officially right now today.
All right, so that is 2d6 plus 1, and then the extra d6 for the raise. 18. Yeah,
I think you killed it.
So I'm just going to pick all my cards back up from my initiative track over here. And so this thing bursts out of the tree line and makes a pretty big ruckus because it's a wild animal. And Morgan turns back to see what's going on. As she turns, sees this, she instinctively just draws her pistol right down and lets out one shot that just goes right through this beast's neck, and it falls to the sand. And here we are standing on the beach with a dead yellowback, as they're known, because they have a yellow stripe down their back. You guys didn't even get to see that yet because this happened so quickly.
Bill sighs disappointedly.
I would say that Morgan sighs and was like, damn, I was really hoping it'd be cannibals.
Woohoo! 10 gold!
Your arm is mine tonight, Morgan.
And I draw my pistol, but don't actually point it at anything, just in case there's more of these.
Yeah, I feel like Bill would probably go over to it, trusting everyone else to keep an eye out, and probably start like skinning it and trying to pull some meat off of it for provisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take about a fist-sized chunk of that bloody meat and drop it in my jar.
Oh, excuse me.
Do you want a survival roll or anything?
No, it looks like it's just a common knowledge roll. If you prefer to use survival, I'll allow that. If it's better, I'll let you decide which one.
Looks like it's -2 to common knowledge for being coolness. So I'm going to go with survival.
Okay.
All right, I rolled a 5.
Cool. Yeah, so you're successful, and what that will provide in-game will be 10 provisions. There's not a lot of good meat. It's a fairly lean animal.
I take the skin too.
Sure.
And Joki's going to kind of run up to the tree line, sort of where it came out, and sort of check around. She will have drawn her dagger and her hook at this point, and she's just going to kind of look around and see if there might be some indication of other yellowbacks nearby.
Oh, hook and dagger, that's a cool weapon combo.
I'm going to start moving towards the wreck to start salvage.
Okay. Yeah. As you get to the wreck, you see that it's also has the hull smashed out, which is what caused it to beach. It has no sails. It's a one-mast ship. The mast is intact still. It's salvageable. It's also repairable. Not seaworthy right now, but it's not a bad shell of a ship.
I'm going to... Is it like one deck and then a below decks? How many decks does it have? Okay.
It'll be like above deck and then one below deck.
Sure.
So do I see anything, any other track?
You can see where it came out from the jungle, but you don't see anything else that seems of concern, or at least not concerning to Jokey.
I go up to Jokey and I'm like, you tell me if you saw cannibal.
Yeah, sure, I'd tell you. Mm-hmm. But, why don't I just hold on to that 10 gold now? If you have it on you.
So what Morgan is going to do is she takes out the 10 gold and she's like, just in case, and she hands it to Red Bill. And she's like, Red Bill will do the right thing.
He just looks at it. His hands are still all bloody from butchering up the yellowback. He just like shrugs and puts it in his pocket.
So with that, I'll trot up the beach to the wreck and give Sonny a hand.
While she's still coming, what I'd like to do is take a look. There's probably not anybody above deck, so I'm going to take a look below deck and take a brief look at what's below so I can have an idea of where I want to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I entered initiative, so we can just kind of handle it as it comes at this point, more or less. So you step below deck. There's a big hole in the side to let all the water in, which caused the ship to begin sinking, which is why they beached, which is your best guess. Don't see really anything below deck. I mean, there's like the bunks, and they have some barrels, water barrels, things like that. But for the most part, it looks like it's been picked clean. There's no sign of crew. There's no sign of a battle taking place on the ship. It just looks like they beached and it was quite possibly abandoned. No cargo, nothing along those lines.
I start making plans to remove the water barrels and the bunk and the actual bunks themselves to add to our ship stores. And then I go back upstairs to see if anybody's coming along.
All right, yeah. So you put together a game plan of some of the things, maybe make a mental inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Sonny reappear on the... I imagine he comes up through the top deck, although he could probably just walk out through the hole in the ship. But
I'd like to do the top deck, but more because he wouldn't think... He hasn't had enough experience with hull holes to think of walking through them yet. It'll happen. We'll have lots of them now.
yeah.
But I'm not used to them yet. So I see Jokey.
Sonny, what did you see downstairs? Anything we can use?
So there looks to be some water barrels and some bunks. We can take them back to our ship in case that way we have some spares and extra water. It looks like it might be salvageable. So maybe if the captain is willing to put in some extra time, we could take it back. We could fix it up and take it back.
Sounds like a good plan.
I want to turn to the dock, and I'm like, Doc, I know that the big lizard thing could have eaten whatever was left here, or cannibals, of course. But wouldn't there be some leftovers of these people, like bones and stuff? She's like, those don't usually decompose, right?
This is true. They probably went into the jungle and then were eaten by lizards and not cannibals. I want your arm.
When you take somebody's arm, do you actually cut it off and just put it in the jar, or do they have to stay attached to the arm?
Well, for efficiency's purposes, I am working on that.
Okay.
But for now, it stays attached. I thought about you. You were very clever about having someone hold on to the gold. I thought maybe we should give Red the arm, but that's a lot of hassle.
I'm already carrying all this meat, and I was like, I can't carry it anymore.
Put the arm right in the meat bag. Like, well,
that's meat too.
The idea this isn't the first time Red Bill has been given the money that Morgan has betted on something.
I mean, yeah, the quartermaster usually handles the money for most stuff, so that's kind of his job, I guess.
So I will say, traditionally with pirates, there's no gambling allowed on deck. But I imagine that Morgan has a fondness. Morgan has a fondness for these little games of chances everywhere she can sneak in.
I like the idea she just makes like little bets about things, like, oh, I bet you can't leap across the deck without like a grappling hook or something like that.
But Bill doesn't, like, we don't pay them out until we're off the ship because we're breaking the rules, and Bill can't break the rules. So he holds on to the money until we make port, and then he pays people out.
Oh my God, Red Bill the bookie.
Stripping down this ship will take a couple hours and some manpower. The other thing is everybody roll me a notice.
I'll notice as well, just in case.
I love the sound of dice being rolled.
I got an 11.
Oh, I got a 5, so.
I am busy staring at Morgan's arm.
I got a 2, so I'm busy staring at Doc, staring at my heart.
My tentacles are like kind of quivering in excitement.
I got a 2. Obviously, I'm looking at that mess there, trying to figure out how to de-step it or what else I could do with it.
So we had one person with a raise. I believe that was Red Bill.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect. That works. So Bill notices the edge of the tree line has these fruit-bearing trees. And seeing as how he is probably the one who would be considered in charge in this situation, even though everyone's somewhat of equal rank, him being the quartermaster, he knows he needs some more provisions.
Yeah.
And again, right on the edge of the beach, not even in the jungle, you guys have this tropical fruit growing there as well.
Bill notices the fruit, and you said it's right at the edge of the beach. He'd probably, I assume he has like some sack or something for provisions because he had to put that meat somewhere, and we were going to get provisions. So he probably drops his meat sack and just starts heading towards the tree line, and it's just like fruit. He's just going to go right up there and try and climb one of those trees.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can roll climbing if you want a chance to fall out of the tree.
I love it. I didn't fall out of the tree. I got an 8. I'm going to stop rolling this dice. I think it's loaded.
Yeah, so you get up in the tree, and you'd be familiar with this fruit. I'm not sure if the fruit on Charybdis is the same as Earth, but let's pretend it is. And this is like, do mangoes grow on trees? They grow on trees, right?
Ooh,
So,
mangoes.
yeah, you got some like nice, big, really good-looking ripe mangoes.
Nice. Yeah, climb up the tree and just start like hacking off like the limbs holding them with one of my axes, hoping that somebody comes to pick them up because he pointed to it, but he didn't really tell anyone to come with them.
Well, I saw Red Bill run off, so I sort of, and I heard the word fruit, so I'm just going to kind of follow him and see what's happening over there with the fruit trees.
I'll keep an eye out on the situation from where I am, just in case.
I think Morgan would go over, actually with gun drawn, because as adventurous as she is, she might suspect another one of those raptors to come out, maybe.
Well, Glug's going wherever Morgan's going. But all I can imagine now is like Glug picking up a mango and eating it like a mind flare on a head.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Kraken eat.
Yeah, they don't have a dietary restriction, so it's typically, if it doesn't say, assume human.
Yeah. I imagine he probably prefers meat.
Raw.
But
yeah.
Raw, but not necessarily living.
I mean, I've learned to not be as picky of an eater.
He's doing the mind flare thing on the fruit just for visual effect.
Yeah, he doesn't actually need to eat like that. He just thinks it's more fun to freak everyone out.
This is traditional from my homeland. Don't judge me.
So after you guys spend a little bit of time gathering up some of this fruit, and you guys think you have reached enough provisions to meet the captain's orders. Now, Sani, you and the boat, you are going to need a crew to do this, especially as the master carpenter. You have no desire to be the one actually lugging any of this heavy stuff, having earned a position.
Exactly. If somebody wants to displace me, they have to earn it and prove that they're enough better than me to take my job. Not that they are enough better.
Yeah, so you would need a small crew, maybe 5 or 6 guys to aid you in properly stripping this. But you go through, you make an inventory, and put together a list of the things that would aid you the most.
How far away are we from the Rebecca?
Maybe like a mile and a half down the beach.
So I'm going to say to Red Bill, I think one or two of us should run back to the ship and see if we can grab a couple of crew to help Sani strip this thing down. I think there's a lot of good timber and lumber on this thing, so we're going to need a few guys to carry it back. And if you want, I'll run down and I can take some of this mango with me.
He probably just nods and He's like, "Can you carry this too?" And lugs the giant, like the big sack of yellowback meat, like just hands it to her.
Which immediately she drops.
He's like, "This size," and he's like, "We can go." And he looks over at Morgan and he's like, "Keep your gun out. You're in charge."
Uh-oh.
How far away from the wreck is everybody?
So we're about a mile and a half.
Yeah, about a mile and a half. So it'd only take, I guess in sand, probably about like a half an hour walk down the beach.
Yeah, it's like a 15-minute run, so about half an hour.
What I mean is, Sonny is still on the wreck, so he doesn't hear Red Bill say Morgan's in charge.
So yeah, I feel like Jokey and Bill probably run back because he needs to lug all this meat and get it inventoried and stuff. Give it to the right people.
How responsible. Why are you here?
Yeah. You can't let the captain down.
To be paid.
All right, so you guys make your way back down towards the Rebecca. As you get closer, you notice something that doesn't seem quite right. I'd say about halfway there. And because everybody was working when down at the wreckage, this sort of eluded everybody. But as you get closer and you're focused more in on your destination of this walk down the beach, you see this. You see some smoke coming up from where you left the Rebecca still. It looks like the fire has not been put out.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'd say you guys were probably gone a little over an hour since you left the ship. Now, you guys are halfway between the wreckage and the Rebecca, so I'll let you guys decide how to proceed from here.
I'm going to drop the mango and start running towards the Rebecca. Oh my God, Bill, it's still on fire. We need to get down there.
Yeah, that's basically Bill's thinking too. I don't know if he drops the meat though. He probably just has an axe in one hand and a sack of meat in the other. Because putting out fire is hungry work.
So if we could put a strap on that, you could have a meat shield, literally.
That's true. Thoughts?
All right, so you guys run back down the beach. And when you arrive at the Rebecca, there was clearly a big disturbance here. The beach is all torn up with footprints, scuff marks. It looks like a fight may have broken out. You see some blood, and you do not see any of the remaining crew of the Rebecca.
Bill just starts shouting out, like, for the captain and other names of crew people that we don't know their names out of character, but just yelling, trying to get a sign of anybody around.
I'll do the same thing, and I'll try and sort of look at the prints in the ground just to see if are these, what kind of prints are they? Are they lizard prints? Are they, footprints? Or are they people footprints? Or what are they? And sort of in what direction did they head?
All right. Yeah, so for Kyoki, I'm going to need a tracking roll while checking out the footprints.
That's a 4.
You see these are barefoot, what you would consider average size, and they head off into the jungle.
Are there any boot prints as well? Like
no,
the pirate prints?
As you get away from the scuffle, as you follow it more to the tree line, and you're away from where there was clearly something happening, you only see this barefooted print.
And can I tell how many people, or how many of them there are? How many sets?
No, you can't get an accurate estimate on that. It could be anywhere from 2 to 6 is probably her best guess. I'd like whoever's left at the remains of the wreckage, give me a notice roll. Unless Sani is below deck, and then Sani will not make one. But the 2 that were probably just hanging out on the beach and keeping guard.
Okay.
I'll be above decks just so I can keep an eye on out for when the repair party comes from the Rebecca.
Yeah,
Since
that's
I don't
no
know
problem.
anything about that.
And the last thing you said was that you were on deck checking the mast, so I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah. 6.
Okay.
7.
I only got a 3.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm so distracted.
All right. So let's see. We got a 7. That's almost a race.
I'm probably like trying to think of the terms of sticking my hand in the jar, like negotiating.
Wondering that if you eat one of the other crew members, if that counts as cannibals, and you can like win the bet.
At this point, the meat I've dropped in the jar is gone.
Yeah, I imagine it's a pretty. I don't think this is a small jar. I imagine like
No, like one of the big, like, pickle jars.
restaurant style. Yeah. All right. I'm going to say that the people that passed the notice check, because you're looking out towards the Rebecca waiting for this repair crew to come in, you notice this smoke off in the distance.
That must be a second fire. I did my job.
Hey guys, you think we should go back and check on the Rebecca? Looks like the fire's back on.
Morgan would say, well, this one isn't burning, so I think it's probably better to go back and make sure our friends are all right.
Yeah, I agree.
There's clearly an arson on this island. This other ship will catch fire.
If we're trapped here because of that, then it's your fault because you said that.
I don't make things exist by saying them. Fixing boats is your job. If we're trapped, it's your fault. We're just like walking and arguing.
Hey, I can fix this. I can also leave you here. Or do you want to take the chance?
I can heal you and your crew, but I can also live in the ocean. My chances are good.
Yeah. Well, just remember, if things go wrong because you mentioned that they would go wrong, they're going to have to swim.
Okay, I'll go for a walk.
Let's go see what's up with Rebecca.
All right. So you guys are about a half an hour down the beach if you walk back.
I think Morgan would at least go for a jog. Just because she's probably a little worried.
Oh man, I'm going to be so winded with my D4 vigor, but I'm not letting the arm get out of my reach.
I'm going to... Hey, I'll go for a jog too.
All right. Anybody who wants to jog down the beach, I am going to ask for a vigor check. If you fail, you will take a level of fatigue from running in the sand and wearing yourself out.
Excellent. I got a 4.
This is time for a Benny.
So I got a 20.
I got a 4.
So Sani's like running backwards, like down the beach, cartwheeling through the sand, like. All right, so everybody made it successfully. Some with a little more ease than others. So we'll reduce the time down. You make it there in as is perfect for Savage Worlds, a plot appropriate amount of time. And you guys arrive, and the other two, Bill and Jokey, are there. Well, what were you guys doing in that last little bit of time we had? Jokey was checking out the tracks.
Yeah, after like calling out for people and getting no response, Bill would probably go into the ship as much as he can with the fire and see if he can find anybody. And if he can't, maybe just try to get the fire under control if it's possible. I don't know how bad it is at this point.
It is pretty bad.
Okay.
He probably would not feel comfortable trying to fight this blaze.
I was about to ask, is plot appropriate time we get there right when the fire hits the powder kegs?
It's closer to get there right as it burns to the sea level.
Yeah. I assume a lot of the stuff's already off the ship, like the goods and...
You don't see them.
Okay.
The crew was working on that as you guys departed, and they did have an hour since you left, depending on whenever their situation happened. But you don't see any of the stores on the beach.
Okay, so they were presumably taken with the people if the people were taken.
If they were cannibals, they wouldn't need the supplies, Morgan.
And it would explain why there's no bodies here, because they ate them.
Or they're going to eat them. Wait, this is our crew. We should probably go find them. And I think Jokey would pull her dagger and her hook and start basically kind of at the tree line, sort of beginning to figure out, which direction they went.
Yeah, I'll lose a bet in return for our crew.
Yeah, I would officially drop my meat sack now, and probably pull out my other axe and just nod at Jokey and be like, "Okay, which way?"
I'll draw my rapier and shout, "No one's getting eaten tonight! I want that arm!"
So can I ask, what time of day is it?
Somewhere afternoon, but in the early parts of the afternoon.
A lot appropriate time of day.
Yeah.
So it's pretty light out. Is it pretty light, sort of past the tree line?
Well, it's pretty dense foliage, but yeah, it's not so dark. It's not like a full canopy overhead. You will be able to see, just with some areas of shade.
So I would turn to Red Bill and just say, I assume everybody, the rest of the group is at the beach, and say, Red Bill, what do you want us to do? Should we just go after them?
It's like, yeah, we have to find them. We can't sail without our captain or our ship. And he looks at Sonny and he's like, "Can you fix this?"
How much of the ship is burned?
Yeah.
Down to the sea line, you said, right?
Yeah. So he pointed at pretty much a pile of ash and was like, "Can you fix that?"
We have the bottom of the ship.
I doubt it. Did I have my carpenter's tools with me?
You did not bring them down the beach, but you don't know if they were removed by the crew while they were unloading the stores.
Yeah.
Oh God, that means my surgical tools are gone. I now care about something more than the arm.
If I get you someone else's arm, does that count?
2-for-1 special. We can make a deal.
Half the time in the jar.
So, Jokey, you discovered the first bit of the track, so you know where they entered the tree line, and you can set out a path into the jungle following that line, at least to begin with. We will need an additional tracking roll.
Bill, I'm gonna, if you guys want to follow me, I'm a fairly decent tracker. I'm just looking at I'm looking at Bill's feet, and I'm looking at the tracks in the ground, and I'm kind of trying to subtly figure out if they're kind of the same. So are these like Redman tracks, or trying to identify what kind of person?
You said they were bare feet, right?
They are barefooted.
It's bears.
Yeah, you can roll me. Why don't you give me common knowledge?
It's 10.
Okay. Yeah. So you think these may be Redmen tracks, being that they still live in like tribal situations. Most of them don't wear more than loincloths. You spent a lot of time on the ocean. You may have seen them in your travels. You've definitely met plenty of the half red men, like Bill, who tend to be more civilized. But I imagine that Jokey has come across an actual full-blooded red man before, and they tend to travel barefooted. And you have a good impression that might be what you're looking at here.
Okay, well, I'm going to say to the group, well, let's head in. It looks like it's maybe about a half a dozen, maybe fewer, but probably like a half a dozen red men. So I'm definitely, I've got my hook and my dagger out, and I'm going to begin heading into the tree line, into the jungle, trying to track the footprints.
At the mention of it being the red men, Bill probably just like growls angrily because I feel like he doesn't like them very much because he is half that and they are horrible things. So, and he probably faces a lot of racism for what he is.
Yeah. So as we venture off into the jungle, it is hot. Like, it is so humid in this jungle. and you guys start to follow this track, and Joki's leading the way. You're moving fairly slowly as she trying to keep everybody on path. You guys have been in there, well, it's hard to tell time, but your best estimate is 20 minutes in. I'd like another tracking roll from Joki, please.
8.
Oh, perfect. All right, yeah. And you do not lose the track even for a second. You're able to follow it very clearly. She's really having a lot of fun with the tracking. Quite optimistic for the situation at hand. One other thing I need before we get where we're going is I need a bigger roll from everyone because of this excruciating humidity that everybody is wading through.
Will aquatic help any since humidity is wet air?
So I'm just so excited, and I'm just following these tracks, and I hit an 11, so I'm doing pretty well.
Oh wow!
I get a 4. I get a 4.
Apparently, aquatic counts because I hit an 11 on my D4.
I also hit 11.
Are we playing craps?
Oh, Morgan likes that game.
Did you
Not
say
on
crabs? I know some.
I don't want to play crabs.
All right, so that was a success for everyone?
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
The old pirate game crabs where you just throw crabs at each other.
So it's hot and it's humid, but everybody's able to maintain pretty well. It doesn't really get the best of anybody.
It's almost like we live on the ocean.
Right.
It's way hotter than being at sea, Bobby.
Duh.
All right, and what I need now is I need a notice roll. As you guys are coming through this jungle, you see everyone sees this. This is not for the notice roll. It breaks into a worn path that is obviously a traveled route. The tracks that you're following start onto the path. Now, because it's worn in, it's a little hard to track, but I assume you guys are going to keep following because you don't see the trail break off. And as you get to the edge of this worn path, anyone who passed the notice check is able to hear a low chanting in the distance.
Uh-oh.
Bill, do you hear that?
No.
Hear what?
The one who might understand it.
No, seriously, it's like this weird chanting. It's over this way. Let's go check it out.
Ritual sacrifice is not cannibalism, Morgan.
Can we approach stealthily, even though Bill didn't hear it? It was pointed out to him, at least. We should go slow. I don't know who here actually has stealth, but yeah, Bill actually does.
I, of course, do.
Yeah.
I, of course, have to make a unskilled check.
Maybe you should stay here. I rolled a 7 for my stealth.
5.
Okay.
Should we just kind of go maybe a little bit off the path and sort
Yeah,
of
that's
keep
what I
it
was
in
thinking.
sight, but go through the jungle?
I'm going to Benny it.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Then I, too, am going to Benny it.
All right, that's a 6. Would have been an 8 if it wasn't unskilled.
I'm unskilled, but I got a 4.
Okay. So in the end, everyone succeeded?
Yes.
Excellent.
I want to say Morgan has her rapier drawn rather than her gun, because it's the quieter weapon.
Sure. So you guys follow this path. You guys go off into the tree line and are moving as stealthily as possible. Maybe 50 yards, you're able to see in the distance a clearing. It's large, very large. And in the center is a big stone pool. It has a giant statue on one side, about a 20-foot tall statue of a what is known as monk ape. The monk ape are primates. This is, like I said, a 20-foot tall depiction of one of these. Some of them are more like chimpanzee-esque. This is more along the lines of like a gorilla, though, very large. This is where the chanting's coming from. You can also see around the edge of the pool some red men. One standing in the center, adorned in some what can only be assumed to be ceremonial garb. Around him are a group of red men. You count 8 in total. And in front of them are the bound crew of your ship. They're down on their knees, and they're all positioned at the edge of this pool. Did anybody get a raise on the notice check? All right. So, Dr. Glug, you can see that inside this pool is not water. You would think it looks like blood, but it is much darker and much thicker looking, almost along the lines of a red tar.
So with my knowledge of water magic, I know elemental control probably wouldn't do anything to it.
That's a fair guess. I actually don't know if it would, but I would guess not. So Dr. Glug would probably also guess not.
Dang it. I was going to do shapes and try to be a god. Yeah, I'll relay over to them that that's not water. I'm out of my element, as you would say.
About how far are we from them?
The clearing is probably close to the size of a football field, and you guys, I imagine, are hanging back at least 5 yards inside the tree line. That way you have a clear visual, but without putting yourself exposed out in the open.
So they're at about the 50-yard line?
They are on the other side of the pool, but there is some clearing past that. 50 yards is reasonable. I'll put them at 50 yards.
How many people do they have? Is it the whole crew?
You don't see the whole crew. You see 6 other sailors that must refer to besides yourself.
And there were how many red men?
There are 8 red men, 9 red men altogether, and one of them appears to be the one leading this ceremony.
Yeah.
Is the captain among the sailors?
The captain is. He is directly in front of this red man who is chanting.
Morgan is going to turn to Bill and whisper, "Boss, we got to save him."
Yeah, like Bill's like just nods vehemently and probably starts moving towards a more advantageous position, trying to sneak a little closer.
So Bill, what exactly are they doing? Do you know? Have you seen this before?
He's like, looks at her and he's like, "Why would I know?"
Well, I mean, sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to. I mean, I just thought. Well, okay, sorry. Sorry.
He's like, "Do you know what they're doing?"
Well, I'm kind of wondering, are they going to eat them?
Yes.
Shoot.
You don't know that for sure? I look at the arm.
Morgan. Bill's like, you guys sneak around. I'll distract them. And then she runs out towards them.
Okay. I'm going to play into my hindrance of how much I care about my jar, and I hope I get a Benny for this, because I'm going to give myself away of, "You fool, that arm is mine," as I chase after him.
I will give you a Benny for that. And I'd also like to say, if any of the players here think that I have not given a Benny when it is well deserved, please let me know. I have a terrible time maintaining the Benny economy. It's one of the things I struggle with most in Savage Worlds. So don't be afraid to speak up and say, "Hey, that thing I did," like Bobby said, "Listen, I'm going to play into my hindrance and affect myself up for the story." Or if you see another player do something, you say, "Hey, that thing that they just did, that's like really great character stuff." I'm not bothered by that at all.
I wouldn't mind one for running out into danger like that.
What are your hindrances? You have heroic, right?
I do have heroic, yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
So is there any like jungle or anything like that sort of that we could skirt around and get closer while Morgan's doing this great distraction maneuver?
Yeah, so since he didn't wait for everyone to get into any kind of striking position, you can creep around the edge of the tree line, and you can get yourself, if you...
50 yards is going to take forever.
So, well, the nice thing is a pool separating you and them, so they can't make a beeline right for you guys either, which also means you guys cannot. But imagine on a football field, you guys are sort of in the end zone looking out. So you could make your way through the tree line around the edges and put yourself on a sideline position. Yeah. And you would be within maybe 15 yards.
Okay, so I'll do that. I'll sneak around, I guess, kind of off to the right.
Okay.
I'm trying to go to the side where the chanty guy is, because he's probably the leader, and he's got the captain.
I'll go with you with that, because I'm thinking that this guy needs to be put down.
I'm busy chasing Morgan, so
that's fair.
Now, is the guy in the leader guy, is he sort of like in front of the pool, or is he kind of behind his guys?
No, so the way I envision it is, let me wait 1 second.
I'm just gonna grab some cough drops. It'll take me like 30 seconds.
Okay, no problem. So let me see if I can. I'm getting way too much glare. Is that coming in at all?
That's good.
All right. So
So the pool is huge.
The pool is very big.
Okay.
And the square at the top would be the statue. The X in front of it would be the chanting individual, and then the lines would be the rest of the Ugak sort of spread out to his flanks.
All
So
right,
he's standing dead center, and then the crewmen of yours are all kneeling in front of them in a very similar line on the pool edge.
I'm already back.
Perfect.
I even saw your little diagram.
Oh, good.
We're about 15 yards away. We're in the edge, but we're kind of 15 yards away from the red men and our crew.
Yeah.
So,
And-
Dan, I have a trapping question. So, with control elements, I can generate a pint of water, but it doesn't say how. Can I make it come from rain clouds? Because I actually just figured out how wide of an area 1 inch of rain is if it's a pint of water. And it's like 40 yards squared.
Yeah, I will allow it.
Nice. Okay.
Morgan and Dr. Glug run out. Morgan to take the lead, and Dr. Glug chasing behind his prize. And other 3 crewmen have made their way off into a more advantageous position on the side. I'm going to give Morgan a surprise round.
Yeah, I feel like because as they were running out is when we started sneaking around. So I feel like they probably get to do stuff before we're even in position.
Yeah. And so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to have Morgan, you can take your first action since you left the tree line first. I'm kind of on the fence about Dr. Glug because he's probably just yelling and chasing before he realizes how bad of an idea this was.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I did it as a bad idea. So,
And then I'm going to deal initiative for the next round around. While Morgan, you can let me know what you would like to.
Am I able to get close enough to attack one of them with my sword? I assume not.
No, you can get, I'd say, 60% around the pool.
So I'd probably have to run.
Yeah, so
I mean,
Yeah.
12 yards will take you about a quarter of the way to where you're going, which would be a full movement.
All right, I'll do a full movement, a run, and I'll make a taunt at the minus. Okay, so I got 4 for my run die, so
Okay.
that puts me up to 10 spaces closer. And then for my taunt, let's see how I do on this, because I'm rolling at a -4, but it just feels in character. You know what? I'm going to Benny it. Get a Benny.
I'm surprised you still have Benny's, Josh.
Okay, I don't think I successfully taunted because I got a 2. But I'm like,
It's a toast, so.
eat me instead! That's because she did not do well on her taunt.
I mean, they're Ugak. They probably have pretty low smarts. They could roll 1.
it could.
That's true. So I'm going to roll, but it was a valiant effort.
At least I got their attention.
At least you didn't snake eyes and fall in the pool.
Yeah.
So our initiative order.
Their blasphemous religion is blasphemous and blasphemous, but at least it absorbs their attention.
As we enter our first round of initiative, you may all draw a Benny. Because I use Bobby's rule
Yeah.
that if the NPCs draw a Joker, you guys still get one.
Oh, shit.
Awesome. Oh, no, wait.
You're welcome. I mean, he also gets one, so we're like
Right.
screwed. But
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I hardly ever use them. I
Yeah.
mean, I may, usually only to save, like, my big bad. I mostly just forget. Because I want you guys to win. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you killed him. Good. I'm like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually just use them to make big bad fights more dramatic.
I feel like I usually use them for really innocuous things. Like, if I fail a really stupid roll, I'm like, okay, this is dumb.
No, Bob, let me ask you. Do you give the +2 to the NPC?
Yeah. They got a Joker.
Yeah, I do too.
Jokers are deadly, especially if it's like a group of extras. That whole group just got +2s. That's how they say to do it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Luckily, they're not in range to like get to my face this round.
Well, that's true. They drew the Joker on the one round that they can't actually do anything.
However, this is going to kind of suck because it's all rolls, and I'm going to try and intimidate them. And I burned 2 bennies because I got my rolls out of the way.
Let me double check one more thing before we kick off this first round.
And just for clarification, so when Morgan and the doc ran out, did they run down the opposite side of the pool from us? Or are they on the same side?
That's a good question. They don't know which side you went down. So why don't we have... Morgan is the only one who's actually come around the corner of the pool. Morgan, I'd like you to roll. No, I'm sorry. I'll roll. You just pick high or low. High. So I rolled low. So you guys are on the opposite sides.
Okay.
Which could actually work out better.
Yeah, flanking.
Yeah.
Crossfire. Isn't that what you visitors call it?
I think it's friendly fire.
Oh, no.
That's why Bill doesn't use guns.
Oh, please. I'm sure that I'm a better shot with...
The Ugak soldiers, not the one who's taunting, but the other ones, are going to, upon hearing this disturbance, they all take off running towards you guys. Well, towards, I guess, Morgan. And they close a good amount of space on their run.
Yeah, the bigger question is, do you give them the +2 to the running die?
That's, yeah.
No.
That's
Technically, no.
Yeah.
I know some people do.
I never know what to do anything with in this game, but I think we already know that.
But we love it so much.
Right?
What is Savage Worlds?
Yeah, so there
It could be a world where our crew members get sacrificed to some dark god because you all couldn't do something.
Next up on the initiative order is Dr. Glug.
Okay, so I'm taking 2 actions. My first action is I'm casting Elemental Manipulation to make a 40-foot squared rainstorm begin to go down. I'm also doing my standard movement to close some more of the distance.
Are you going to follow on the same side as Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to go that, and I'm going to start the rain cloud, and as my second action, I'm then going to Intimidate and basically shout the equivalent of, "You have angered the gods!" So with my casting, it was a 10 minus 2, so an 8. Now, does the rainstorm coming out of nowhere give me a bonus to my Intimidate?
You know the Ugak are superstitious. I will give a +1.
Then I rolled a 7 to Intimidate the chief. And I burned 2 bennies in this process. Both on my Intimidate. Because I'm not doing this and being non-intimidating. But, I'm going to say you've intimidated the gods and stuff, but I'm going to do it in my natural language. So it just it's incomprehensible and gurgling and almost eldritch.
Nice. And that is, Intimidate is opposed by their spirit. So Let me find out what his... Oh, okay.
That's not good. I know that face. My players always hate when I have that face.
What happens in a tie, Bobby?
Nothing.
Technically, nothing changes.
I re-roll ties in my games.
Yeah. Unless they take the edge that you win on a tie.
There's an edge for that.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, yeah, we'll have to play it as nothing happens because otherwise we make that edge useless. And
right. Can I burn my last Benny to keep trying?
Do it.
Because it's an opposed roll.
Benny it.
Yeah. Again, technically, because it's an opposed roll, my roll's now over. That's what I'm asking.
No, we're gonna
All right.
follow.
I was intimidating, but he's not intimidating enough.
And next on the order is Choki.
So, how close is the closest? The one guy who stayed behind, not the leader guy. I assume the leader guy stayed behind. So it's the leader guy.
The leader is the one who stayed behind. So it was him and 7 soldiers, and the 7 soldiers all took off running after Morgan.
Okay, and so how far away is the leader guy from me?
I would say 15 yards or 15. So what I usually do is I usually just equate a movement to a yard instead of the 5 feet. I bump it up to 6 feet because no, I'm sorry, it would be 2 yards for each movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So he's about 45 feet from me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of look at Bill and point at the big guy, and I'm gonna do a run towards the big guy and attempt to attack him. Do a 2-fisted attack with my hook and my dagger on the big guy.
Okay. At 15 yards, your natural pace is 6. You can cover 12, so you will have to roll a run, which will make it a multi-action, and just don't roll A1, and you'll make it.
Great. So that was a 4.
Okay. So you make it, and you said you were making an attack?
Yes, with both 2-fisted attacks. So it's a -2 from the multi-action from the run, right?
Yes.
And a -2 for your offhand.
Except I'm 2-fisted, so I don't have to take the multi-action penalty for that.
No, but if you don't have ambidextrous, then you take a -2 offhand penalty for your left hand.
For the second one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the first attack, which is with my right hand, which is my main hand, which is the hook, is a 10. So I'm hoping I can get that puppy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And actually, you're going to, if I'm seeing this correctly, you're going to get a raise on that.
Yep. So then I go ahead and roll the damage.
Yeah, I believe each action is handled independently. Is the way that it's intended.
So that is 7.
Okay. He's shaken.
How does setting the hook work?
According to the rules, apparently, so I set the hook, and now he suffers a -2 penalty to his parry, to his agility, and to any agility-based skills.
That's awesome.
I'm assuming he's regular sized. He's not big.
Correct.
Okay. So my question is, does his -2 parry apply to my second attack?
Yes. Yeah, and that's part of the benefit of handling these attacks independently is all the effects from the first one are in place.
Okay, so I've run up on him. I've just sunk my my hook right into him, kind of maybe around his shoulder or something like that. And now I'm just going to take my dagger and try and just stab it into his torso. It's a 20.
Okay. Wow.
-2, but then his parry offsets that.
Yes, it does. And I don't think the -2 is going to hurt a 20 too much. But so yeah, you're going to. I know you're still fairly new, but you seem to have a pretty good grasp of the mechanics. But you did remember to add the extra D6 on the first damage roll, correct?
I did not.
Okay. Why don't you? We'll retcon that. Roll a D6 and I'll add it on before we get too far, because he might already have a wound, which would be.
That would have been another 2, so that would have been a total of 9.
All right, so that wouldn't be enough. So we would be at the same place we are right now. But you'll make the second damage roll and you'll add a D6 to that as well for the raise.
Okay, thanks. 6.
You stab him. You have the hook sunk in, and you didn't get a good bite with the hook, but as you sort of jerk him towards you, you sink the dagger into his side, and he lets out an audible yell. And it hurt, but he's still standing. And after Jokey, we're going to move to Sunny.
Okay. Am I close enough to walk up and shoot this chieftain with my pistol?
You are at a range of 15, and I'd have to check the range on the pistol.
I think it's 5, 10.
5, 10, 20.
You'd be at medium range. or you can walk forward and close the distance and be at short range.
I think I'll do that,
Okay.
and then I'll shoot him.
Absolutely. So you are outside the tree line now, but you are in a much better range for shooting.
I'm going to Benny that.
Okay.
8.
Yeah, you hit him, and you may roll damage plus add your extra d6.
Yeah, 15. Actually,
That is-
16 is +1.
All right. So let's see. Yeah, you hit him. You aren't able to get the most spot-on shot. You did some damage. I don't want you to think you didn't. But because he's in this fray with Jokey, you sort of had to pull your shot a little bit, and you hit him through the side as they're sort of spiraling in this melee, and it gets a good sink right into the side of his abdomen, but he's still standing. And we are actually going to move on to our shaman.
It's going to post agility for him to hop off it. And it takes an action, obviously.
Plus He's going to have to unshake.
Well, yeah.
I guess he has a lot of things he needs to handle right now.
And I assume it's a -2 on that agility roll.
Yeah. And then a negative for however many wounds he has, so he's probably stuck on there pretty good.
Yeah, hooks are so nasty.
They really are. Like, there's no way he's getting off of this.
It's Savage Worlds, anything can happen.
Hey, he has like 6 pennies.
Let's see if I can unshake first before I can even do anything. All right, he does unshake. And he's going to attempt to get off the hook, and he's going to take another action after if he does. So what I'm looking at now is 2 for the hook, 2 for the multi-action, and 3 for the wound penalty. I'm at -7.
And it's opposed.
And it's opposed. So go ahead and roll agility for me.
So that's an 8.
Okay, I got a 0.
Hey,
I rolled a
negative.
7. To be fair, I actually. Actually, you know what? I rolled the wrong dice. But it doesn't matter. He wasn't doing that one. So he's reshaken. Poor guy. I had big plans for him. So he goes to pull free, and he's having a bad day. And next up is Bill.
All right. I am going to take. I have to run to get to him. So I want to take 2 actions. Bill has like his battle axe in one hand and a throwing axe in the other hand.
Do you want to close all the way to melee range?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 5 for the run. So.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm going to take let's call it 2 actions. I'm going to take a wild attack on him, and then for my second action, I'm going to try and cut the bindings on the captain. But first I'll do the attack.
Wouldn't that be 3 since you ran?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm at a -4 for the attack. Well, then I wild attack, so it's +2.
And then he's at a -2 on his parry, but do you also get gang up?
And gang up, yeah. Jeez, hold on. So
I was going to say, if you count his parry as flat, it's the equivalent of a +1.
yeah. Well, I rolled an 11. So
I think you're good.
math-wise, I'm pretty sure I hit with a raise. Yeah. I don't have water in here. Oh, that could have been better. So that is 11. Oh, 13 because of wild attack.
What could be better about that?
Well, I mean, I was rolling 3 dice, so I don't know.
Runs up to a guy on his deathbed who's on a fish hook. Like,
yeah, just sinks his axe into the dude's head, and he's like, "Oh, I could have done better."
There was no elegance, no grace.
yeah. So you are able to take him out.
Okay, and then I would just use the axe in my other hand to cut the bindings. I don't know if you want to roll for that or not. I assume they're just like ropes around his wrists or something, right?
You were wild attacking, though, so you're not.
Yeah,
Okay.
roll an agility for me since it's part of this big complex action.
Axe in the captain's head. Axe in the captain's head.
I know you wanted to ask him a question, but that's taking things too far.
So that's a 7.
Okay. That's with all the horrible penalties. I'm going to allow it, but
But you're on super secret probation.
Yeah, you're on super secret probation. Because I was only gonna have you hurt the captain if you rolled like a 1. And I believe last up we have Morgan.
So Morgan is going to do her best Errol Flynn voice and be like, "Back you scurvy scoundrels!" And she is going to she's going to move to the closest one she can, and she's going to make a called shot wild attack on his arm. I think you can see where she's going with this.
He's already dead.
Well, I'm going for one of the
Goons. We'll just say. Yeah.
All right, so I don't know how much called shot to the arm is -2, right?
Yeah.
So with the wild attack, that's +2, so that's a 5. I can do better. I'm going to Benny that. See if I can get a raise. Nope, I can't do better. 5 it is. So does that beat the Mook's parry?
5. 5 does not.
Okay.
These are battle-hardened soldiers.
I feel like
wild animals.
I feel like that phrase just sums up Savage Worlds. I think I succeeded, but I can do better. Let's Benny it. Nope, no, I can't.
Well, yeah, that was my action. So I took a wild swing at him and I missed.
All right, let's deal up round 2. Everybody take a Benny.
Seriously?
Yeah,
They jokered again.
they did joke
Yay!
again.
Did you shuffle after you dealt a Joker?
I literally used 2 different decks, but I did shuffle.
Amazing.
But I have 2 decks
Yeah.
that were both
Yeah,
shuffled.
the 2-deck method is great.
Yeah. In case I don't have time to shuffle, I can just, you know what I mean? I did shuffle while he was describing his turn, but yeah, it's well,
Okay,
I guess.
I've had 4 rounds in a row with Jokers. I think Mike was in that game.
Yes. Well, we had 2 come out on 1 round, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was one of the people who've gotten, if I remember right. And then the next 2 rounds had Jokers.
I mean, it happens. I've gone entire games without having any come up, and then sometimes they just...
And that was on roll 20, too, so that was like, it should be shuffling for you.
I'm in a Savage Worlds game on Mondays. Last session we had that happen.
Yeah, it kind of sums up Savage Worlds like in a whole. It's just so unpredictable. I mean, everything from the dice to the cards to, just...
Yeah, you can have a really good day one day and then a really bad one the next.
Yeah, the Ugok are going to go first. They're going to split after seeing the Shaman go down. 4 of them are going to double back.
Guess I think we're shaman then.
The 4 that head back are going to... 2 will attack Bill and 2 will attack Doki. All armed with primitive clubs.
Did they have to run to get back to us?
You know what? You're right. I'm going to have them run back, and I will I'll apply the multi-action.
Yeah, I assumed they'd make it to us. I was more just hoping to cancel out that penalty.
That's what wild attacks are for, because then they get +2 damage.
Yeah. I just assume they always wild attack.
Yeah, I was going to say, I need T-shirts that just say AW or ABWA, always be wild attacking.
We'll start with attacking Joki. What is your parry?
My parry is 6.
6. Okay. So I got 1 hit and 1 hit with a raise. I'll handle the one with the raise first.
Just don't die.
What is your toughness?
I have toughness of 5 plus 1 armor. I have a leather armor.
Okay. That will help. He comes up, and fueled by this rage from seeing you drop his shaman, he hits you really hard in the head, and Joki loses consciousness on the ground. Because I rolled 22 damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, can I at least try to soak that?
You can. I shouldn't steal your narrative.
It's okay. So the question on the Joker, does everybody get a +2, or is it just the person?
No, just who got the Joker gets the +2. Also, if it's a 22 and her toughness is it 5 before or after your armor? Because if that's 6 total, that's
6 total.
That's only 11 over. Oh wait,
22 minus 6 is
16.
Yeah, 16.
Just enough.
I can't. Math.
I have a raise calculator. It is for raises.
Yeah, that sounds worse when you say it.
Hey, you only have to soak 1 to stay on your feet.
Yeah, if you get a 4, you're still conscious.
I rolled 8.
Oh, good. So you are at 2 wounds, which could be worse.
And I'm
Just
shaking.
a concussion.
And you are shaking. And let me make my other attack on you.
Thank you. Please do.
This was only 7, so that is a second shaken, which will give you a wound.
Or you can
Right.
turn.
Yeah. Well,
I was
you could soak or you could auto unshake and then take the shake.
That's
How do
true.
you, I'm sorry. How do you auto unshake?
You can just spend a Benny to be unshaken at any
Yep.
time.
It works, and even though I've already rolled the damage, you can say, you know what? Nope. Drop the Benny, unshake. So it would sort of just negate the second shaken. It would unshake you, and you immediately reshake, but you wouldn't take a wound.
Or you can test your luck, try and soak that second wound, and if you got essentially a 6 because you're rolling at -2, you'd soak the wound, soak all your wounds, and be unshaken. But,
So
it's
far.
I can only soak the wound I just took, right?
yes,
Only the new wound, but you would also
Right.
unshake.
but it would unshake because you'd soak all the wounds from an attack.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spend the Benny and try and soak the wound.
Okay, so you just need a 6, and you will be
So
ready
you
to
do.
drain.
Shit. That would be a 3 right there.
All right.
So I'm shaken and I have 3 wounds, correct?
Yes.
All
Yes,
you need
do.
is 2 fatigue, and then your worst case scenario.
And then
Well, everyone passed their fatigue. So let's see what they can do to Mike.
Yeah, let's see. Come on,
Let's-
bring it on.
Now I know what it feels like to be a player when people say these things.
So 2 of them, and I got an 8
Okay.
and a 10.
Jesus. Okay, they are both hits with raises because I wild attacked last time.
Oh,
12 damage.
That is a wound,
Okay.
which I'll take the 1 and go berserk.
let's just point out that nothing exploded, but it was 12 damage.
You know what? I'm going to soak that one.
Okay.
I have another attack coming at me, so. Okay, it's a failure, so I'm going to spend another Benny to reroll. Alright, I soak it.
Good. You are unshaken. Second damage roll is, what is that? 3. This is a 7.
7 shakes me, and then I will berserk. Because you can berserk on a shaken, right?
I see Bobby nodding his head.
If it's
so I'm
from
gonna
a
say yes.
physical attack, yes.
Yep, okay. So yeah, berserk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's-
trying to do signals so it doesn't interrupt your audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I'd never actually read it before.
Like
Mike
6
updated
months
it.
ago, I had a player that used it, and I didn't know till then either.
We have 3 more that went off down towards Morgan. I will have one of them move past Morgan to Dr. Glug. And since you never moved up, you were still at the tree line.
No, I did my one set of movement. I just
Okay.
went around.
All right, so I'm gonna have him roll to run to close the gap. Yeah, he rolled a 6, so he'll make it to you with the penalty.
Well, balls.
Well, let's start with Dr. Glug since I already rolled the run for that one. And where is his fighting die?
Oh, I have a 6 parry because I have a. Oh, sorry, his fighting die, not mine.
You said you have a 6 parry though?
Yeah, because I have my rapier out, so I get a +1 parry.
Nice. Yeah, he got a 6.
Oh, yay.
Not a raise, at least.
19 damage.
That's 14. That's 14. I have to soak. All right. Let me get out my D4 vigor.
You don't have, like, anemic or anything, do you?
No, just elderly, so it's never going to get better. 8.
All right, so that leaves you with, was it 1?
1 wound, yeah.
Okay. Not bad. And that's it. Just one of them came after you because you're an old squid and he thought he could handle you. And the other 2 are going to run up on Morgan with making these wild attacks from either side.
Quick question. I
Yes.
forget, how much does Wild Attack take away from my parry?
2.
Okay, so I'm at a 4 right now because I have my rapier, which negates one of that. Normally I have a 6 parry with my rapier.
All right, well, one of them was a 6 and one of them was a 15. I wish my dice worked as good when I was a player, or maybe I just need to use more D8s.
D8s are statistically like the best to roll, I think.
They match up the bell curve best with chances of acing as well as chances of getting a raise.
What is your toughness?
5.
Did you save any bennies?
I sure did.
Okay, good, because I did...
3 of them.
Oh, excellent. I did 19 damage.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I exploded the D10 twice on the damage on that.
3. Okay.
Yeah, that explains why they're doing so much. It's a D10.
That's actually only 3 wounds, but I will soak.
Benny it.
Oh, sweet. Oh. That soaks 2 wounds. That was only the first attack, right?
That was the first attack.
You know what? I'm going to spend the other one. See if I can soak all 3. Nope. I'll just take that 2.
Okay.
I'm at 1 wound right now.
And the second attack was not with a raise. 9 against your toughness.
A 9? Okay. So I could... that's still a wound because it's a raise. So I'm going to try to soak that. Nope. And I'm out of bennies. So I'm at 2 wounds. No bennies.
Right. We have made it past the Joker.
And nobody died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait
those
for
were
the
some...
next round, though, when he pulls the third Joker from his third deck of cards.
Well, I hope it's for one of you guys at least. No, my kids lost half the cards to my third deck, so I only have 2 now. We're going to start with Jokey, with a queen.
Excellent. So I think I need to try and become unshaken. And then I was going to take defend. Does that count as 2 actions to unshake?
No,
And then
unshaking's free.
so that is an 8 on the unshaking.
I was going to say, there was an old rule where you had a raise to...
Actually
unshake.
act.
Yeah.
The old shaking rule. And then I'm just gonna try and sort of put my hook and my dagger up a little bit and try and defend myself.
Okay. Jokey.
How close am I to Bill?
You guys are probably within a few feet of each other.
So
Yeah, we're probably
would we count as ganging up? So like if Bill was going to attack somebody near, like, with us? Does that make sense?
I think the number of people they have would negate our gang up bonus.
Okay.
Because they have so many people adjacent.
I would allow it if you, like, say you attacked someone and Mike attacked the same person in the same round. I would give it because that person was actively engaged by 2. But I wouldn't allow that more, like, circumstantial gang up, how like, you just have to be, like, next to each other. I think Mike's right about the sheer numbers working against you guys.
That would be a cool edge, though. Call it something like back to back. You get gang up bonuses if they're just within.
They have one for some setting that gives you a bonus to, it's an EPU. You get the parry bonus. The Be a Zebra. I
Yeah,
really like
high
that.
in the group.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I still haven't read that yet. I got to get around to it one of these days. Next up is Sani.
Shoot
Where
one.
are the other crewmen? Where's the rest of the crew?
They are lined up in front of where Bill and Jokey are fighting, which is only, a few yards in front of where you are currently.
I'm going to go over and start untying them.
Okay. Perfect. I won't even make you roll on that.
Say again?
I won't make you roll if you're just going to untie one for the round. That's perfectly fine.
I'd like to try to untie 2.
All right, so make an agility check for me. And if you make that, then I will allow you to untie 2 side-by-side captives.
11.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So at the beginning of the next round, you'll have 2 crewmen untied.
And the captain, right?
Yeah, Bill was able to untie the captain. He even has 2 hands still.
I wild attacked his ropes.
Morgan is going to act next.
Okay, so I am not going to wild attack this time because I want to keep my parry up. But I am going to do another called shot for an arm. I'm trying to trade for my arm.
I'm gonna give you a Benny for explicitly attacking the arms for 2 rounds now.
Okay. All right. That's a 4. I don't think that hits. You can't spend a Benny on the round you got it, right?
Technically, yeah, you can. Also, didn't they wild attack so their parry's down?
Oh,
yeah.
That is correct. I would have forgot all about that. Thank you, Bobby. That's why I like playing with GMs, because they help me do my homework. Yeah, so his parry is going to be 4 this round.
Excellent.
And actually, probably for all rounds because they're just going to keep wild attacking.
So with the cold shot to the arm, do I get bonus damage?
2.
2?
Oh, no. Cold. Sorry, I'm thinking wild attack. No. It's circumstance.
Okay,
Technically, it's a disarm.
All right.
He's going to disarm him, all right.
Let's see.
I'm sure it's a mook. If you deal a wound, you take the arm and he falls. So.
Yeah.
I probably didn't hurt it. I only got a 4.
Yeah, that does not meet his toughness.
And your eye bennies too, so
I'm going to get that arm.
if you're charging him an arm, you should also try to charge him a leg.
Bill is going to act next.
All right. I mean, there's 4 dudes in front of me, but they're virtually, there's nothing separating them or making them different, right? Nobody's shaking or anything like that.
No, they ran up and just started, like, clobbering everyone.
I'm berserk. I wouldn't even think about that. I'm just going to start clobbering back. Just going to start fighting. All right, so that's an 8.
All right, that's a raise.
All right, so 12.
Yeah, he's down.
And then I can't really do anything else because I'm berserking anyway.
Yeah, no, you just berserked all over him. Last up is Dr. Glug.
All right. First, I want to remind everybody this fight looks awesome because it's still raining.
That was Dr. Glug's main contribution. We look cool as shit.
I was hoping to terrify them, but with that, especially after being hit and wounded, I was going to like slowly raise my head and through the tentacles just go, well, I tried. And I'm going, he wild attacked me, so he has -2 parry. I'm going to, with my rapier, do a spin so my tentacles like flail out, and I'm going to wild attack at his head. There'll be like a spinning sweep to try and lop his head off. 15?
15. So his base parry is 6, which leaves you 9 over. Yeah.
All right. So I only do 2d4, but I got the raised die. Wild attack's a 2, and the head's in 4. Its head better go. 1, 1, 2. However, that's 10 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's just enough to give him the wound.
Thank God.
Just made it.
You're welcome.
Here we go. And for the NPCs, it's a J, but it's not a Joker. We're going to be starting off with Bill.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask last turn, did the captain do anything? He was freed the turn before last.
Oh, I apologize. That's right. And I have to add in the crewman as well.
I mean, I imagine he probably would start untying crewmen as well or something, but I don't know.
I forgot all about them.
Man, I bet he has some sweet leadership edges.
Give us pennies. Give us pennies.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I'm just going to attack another Ugak.
Sure.
Oh, I don't have a lot of room to roll here in my... Uh-oh. Well, I exploded on my wild die, but my skill die was a 1, so I have to Benny that. Because when you're berserking, if your skill die is a 1, you hit a random adjacent friend. So, send it a Benny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's a 6.
Okay.
That's just a regular hit.
Yeah, because they're at the 4 still for parry.
That's a 6 damage.
That's enough to shake him. We're going to be moving on to Sani.
Just in time for me to have my back become spiny. I'm going to untie the other 2 guys.
Sure. Yeah, you can untie 2 more. So there's a total of 6 crewmen. We've untied 2 and the captain. So I guess there would be 3 more. If you'd like to untie 2 of them, roll agility. See if we can do 2 in the same round. A failure, you'll get 1. Success, you'll get both.
Sure.
Nice.
7.
All right.
Sonny is loyal to the crew.
He really is.
Well, once everybody's all untied, we can just swarm the Ugaks, the bad Ugaks, not our friend. Give them what for.
Up next is the Ugak. I have 1 that was shaken who needs to unshake. And he succeeds. I'm going to start with the 3 remaining Ugaks that are up on the platform still, which would be alongside Sani, Bill, and Joki.
And the crew.
And the crew. And one of them is going to attack Bill for killing all his friends. One's going to attack Sani for freeing all of his prisoners. And the last one is going to attack the last remaining tied-up crew member. I'll start with Bill.
Okay.
And that's a 13.
The hit with a raise.
Okay. And, no explosions. 10.
That shakes me.
Okay.
Bill's a badass.
Yeah, Bill is badass.
He is.
Berserk Bill is a badass, at least. That +2 toughness.
All right, the second Ugak is going to attack Sani.
Does that mean that one had to disengage from us to get over to Sani? Or to get over to that other crew member?
You know what? That's a really fair point. So there was 2 of them on you originally. You killed one, and the other one who was on you attacked you. Joki took a full defensive position, or not the full defense, but the regular defensive position on her last action. Again, I'll ask my more experienced GM players. Would you still make them take a disengage against a character in a defensive stance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not an action.
Okay.
And unless they have the edge that does it, they
Yeah, that's
can't,
for it.
like, disengage. They'll
Okay.
just take basically an opportunity attack for moving on.
All right, so they're both going to disengage from Joki, and she will get an attack on.
Just one. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
All right. So, and I can. It's just a regular attack, though, right? All right.
Technically, it can have any of those modifiers we talked about.
Yeah.
Because, like, one of the tricks I was actually about to get a drink is you can,
We need you,
when they're
Bobby.
going to disengage, is you can, like, cold shot for the leg. Because a lot of GMs will rule, like, that cuts out movement, or, like, slows down movement, or trips them. So they go to leave, you disengage for the leg, try and trip them. They just wasted their movement because they've been tripped, and now they're prone, so you get +2 on the next round. You can be real nasty if you get creative.
Okay. So, can I? Well, while we're being nasty, can I do my two-fisted attack, or is it just with one hand?
One attack.
Okay,
That's-
one attack.
But
All right.
you
Can I
could hook them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try and hook them. Can I do it as a wild attack?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm happy to report that was a 1 on my skill die. So,
But
Well, how was your
What's
wild die?
oh, my wild die was a 2, so that would be a +2 with the wild attack, right?
It would be a 4.
And did they wild? Oh no, they're on their turn, so their parry is rebounded unless he's wild attacked already.
Right, because the second it hits their turn, it resets until they act again.
I guess you're out of pennies, right?
I just have the 1.
A responsible player, save it for incapacitation.
I am.
But this is really cool.
Yeah, and I think we left Joki with 2 wounds, so.
Yeah.
No, I have 3.
Oh.
Yeah, but you
I
have
have
Bill
3
there to protect you berserkly.
Right. So okay. So if that would have
Oh.
come off of that roll anyway,
It-
right? So it would have been
Oh,
-3.
yeah. So
So
that's
that was
a-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take the whiff. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's fine. If that was before wounds, take the
Yeah.
whiff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. Okay, so we're gonna go back to their action. One of them is going to attack Sani. Does a 5 meet or beat your parry?
Yes, it does.
All right, so he is going to club you, and 9. Does 9 beat your toughness?
With a raise.
With the raise, excellent. So he has dealt you a wound, unless you would like to soak.
Yes, I would like to soak. 6 plus 2 is 8.
Yeah, so you're able to soak it. You are not wounded. You are not shaken, and you are ready to rock and roll.
Question.
Yes.
Could I use the butt of my flintlock pistol as a club?
You.
I think it's usually
It would be an
Improvised.
improvised weapon.
Yeah.
So you can, but you'll have -1 parry and -1 to fighting attacks.
Okay.
So wait, you're saying my sack full of Velociraptor meat is an improvised weapon?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It would probably.
Totally.
I'd
Whatever
even
your
do it
strength
inside.
score is probably what the damage is, because that thing's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
one's meant.
I didn't bring it with me.
Sadly, you dropped it.
Yeah. That'd be really funny.
I wish Choki had a bag full of mangoes. She was just whipping at all the Ugaks.
I feel like Bill needs to take the weapon master or favored weapon, sack of meat. So then at seasons, you take the improvised weapons, you take no penalties, so then you're even better, and you just like swing it like a big old mace.
Boarding an enemy ship, whirling that above my head.
But it's the same bag of meat from this first adventure.
Every rank it starts adding like poison levels.
Yeah.
And I start adding more meat to it as I kill more meat.
So the last Ugak that's up on this platform with the majority of the party, he runs over to the last remaining tied captive, and he's going to make a push, but he's pushing a bound opponent. So he kicks him off the ledge, and he kicks him into this pool of tarry water. When he hits the water, he screams, and it's bubbling up around him, and it's really, really gross.
Yeah.
It's and cut to everyone's reaction of how awful it is.
Yeah, his like skin's melting off. And upon seeing this, Jokey gets to respond, standing right there next to her crewmate.
Gets to respond to the fabulous guy that just fell down, and I am gonna go. How close am I to the Ugak who just pushed my crew member?
I mean, on a map, I'd say you guys are all within a couple squares of each other, so it's kind of just free movement between this whole cluster of. It's a pretty tight fray at this point.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be disengaging from somebody if I want to go wild attack that guy.
No, everyone is disengaged. You're standing alone at this point. Everyone else is engaged with somebody else.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just do two-fisted wild attack on that guy.
Fuck him up, Jerky.
Knock him into the water.
So I'm at +2 on my fighting attack with the hook, and I'm -3 altogether. 3.
Yeah, you're looking at a net -1, and they have well, actually, he didn't wild attack for the first time, so
What's that?
he actually didn't wild attack either. So that is a miss. But you can make the second attack, and it will be at a net minus.
Net
-3.
-3. So that is a 7 -3. That's a 4.
Better, but it still does not hit him.
Okay.
And we're going to move on to the crew. All the freed crew NPC. So all the crew that were untied that haven't acted yet. So I skipped the captain. What I'm going to rule it is the captain spent his last round gathering himself, mechanically speaking, unshaking.
Yeah.
And because I just forgot about him. But I'm going to roll for the rest of the crew to unshake. I rolled a 21. I guess they're okay.
Fired up.
Because they've all been bound and they are all unarmed. They're all just going to take off down around the side of the pool that is unoccupied. The same side that you guys left the woods from.
Yeah.
They're all just going to move away from this situation, not having any weapons. And next is Morgan.
So I feel like Morgan sort of is like, fuck this, and moves the her sword into her offhand, and then pulls out her pistol and tries to shoot the Ugak in front of her.
Okay. So it is a -2 for drawing.
Yeah, for
the
drawing
weapon.
the pistol. And I also have the -2 from but at least I'm rolling a slightly better die. My fighting and shooting aren't that different, but alright, I'm gonna Benny that because I don't want to shoot an adjacent ally.
Now you only hit him if you miss and get the 1.
I got a 0 with the negative, so I just miss.
Yeah, that is a miss.
So maybe it just like I pull it out and it goes off before I can even like just like goes off in the air.
It's just a starting pistol for us all to run away.
Last up for this round is Dr. Glug.
I was going to say, I think I'm last. So I will say, my initial plan was to be like, well, I killed one, grab the head, and then hide into the tree line. But now, with all these crew members, I need to be heroic, and I'm going to shout, Those who have been free, follow me to safety, and fully run into the tree line.
Perfect. Yeah. That's,
I'm getting out of Dodge.
That sounds more yellow than
Yeah.
I don't have either. I can make my own choices. No, but you see, I'm also going to say it in a very heroic voice.
Of course.
Follow me to safety! And then just bolt as
We
I'm,
must-
raising my rapier into the sky.
And then accidentally run into a yellowback.
So are you on the opposite side of the pool from where the sailors ran off, though, right?
Maybe. I'm still being heroic. I don't care.
well, you have to lead the way in case they didn't know which.
Exactly. They have to
which
know
woods
they're
they're
going
in.
the wrong way. I'm now being helpful, too.
and they all thank you. Hey, we got a Joker. I got 2 Jokers.
No
Are you
way.
kidding me?
Well, that could be a good thing. You don't know who got them yet. I only have 1
I
enemy
could
card.
use the bennies, so
Well, that's good because you get 2 bennies for everybody.
Now,
Okay.
all of the bennies I prepared are in the stack of I have.
Which one acts for us, black or red?
Black.
Black,
Yeah,
okay.
I always do black.
Bill is going to start us off with the black Joker.
Sweet.
All right.
So, do I still have a guy in front of me? I don't remember. Did I kill him?
I didn't mark him off as dead. Now I'm trying to
Okay,
remember.
I couldn't remember.
There was
I-
the one guy you killed, and then the next guy attacked you.
That's what it was, yeah. All right, so then I'm just going to keep going for him because he's in my face and I'm berserk. So that is a 9 to hit.
That is going to do it. That is even with a raise.
Yeah. $17 damage.
Nice. He is dead.
Cool. So I'm going to chop him, and then there was one that was on Sani, right? I'll probably
There
move
is.
towards him. Yeah, I'll move towards him. I can't attack him yet, but so I think Jokey was on the other one, right?
Yes, that's correct.
But she's really beat up. He'd probably move to the one that Jokey's on. So I'm gonna say that instead. I forgot how beat up she was.
Thank you.
All right. And next with the red Joker is Morgan.
Yes. Okay. So it's raining, so I'm not going to try to reload my pistol.
The rain has actually stopped now.
Oh, okay.
It only went 3 rounds.
It takes me around to reload the pistol anyway. Although I don't know if it's different with a turnout pistol.
It's 2 rounds for a regular flintlock. I think it might be 1 for the turnout because it has like a weird breech load mechanism.
Yeah, but that does still mean I can't make an attack with it this turn.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, I believe you can make an agility check to reload and act in the same round on a 1-round reload.
That sounds correct.
If not, it's a really good ruling
Yeah.
because they'd both be at -2.
Yeah.
Right.
Action.
But you have to make the reload action first.
Yeah, it's a good risk reward setup.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, especially with the +2 from the Joker.
Yeah.
So I'm just rolling at a straight -2 for my wounds anyway. So it's effectively the same. All right. You said it was an agility check, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got a 5. And then let's do that shoot. Snake eyes.
Benny.
We do critical failure in my games and Mike's games, so that's what I'm used to. I did it. 4.
All right.
Barely.
All right. So that's 2d6 plus 1 plus 2 from the Joker. 10 damage.
All right.
I like the idea, like, for effect of the bennies, that Morgan was really struggling to reload, and she kept just, like, shoving the Ugok back while she was reloading.
Get off.
After the Jokers, we're going to move on to Jokey.
Okay, so I am going to keep attacking the guy in front of me. I'm going to do a 2-fisted wild attack with my hook. So I'm -3 plus 2. I think I'm at a -1 on that.
You get a +1 for gang up bonus.
Okay, so that was a 2. So that would be, I'm flat now, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna roll spend a penny on that. Okay, that was a 7.
Nice.
So then I roll my damage. So there's no raise though, right?
Correct, no raise.
No, but you do get +2 if you're wild attacking.
18.
Hooked in
Oh
good.
God!
All right, you took care of that one.
Worth the Benny.
Yeah.
Must say.
All right, Dr. Glug.
All right, nothing's risen out of the pool or anything. I was hoping that would happen before, because I'm just predicting that. I was hoping that happened before, so I have no reason to not keep running. However, does it look like the crew are going to follow me after I made that shout?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Okay,
They haven't acted yet, but yeah, they don't. No, you're a part of the crew. They'd probably be.
I'll actually hold my turn till the crew catch up with me.
Okay.
Okay, so now the crew is running out of the woods, past me and Bill to follow Dr. Klug into the woods on the other side.
Well, so they took off from where you guys were and
They are
ran.
so fired.
Yeah, I mean they're.
Yeah,
Swabbing decks for a month.
Don't start yelling at them like cowards. Stand and fight. You guys had weapons they could have picked up.
I've got what? A dagger? And a pistol?
The crew is actually going to act. Yeah, the crew acts next. And they're going to take off running for Dr. Glug. I mean, sure, they're afraid of Bill, but they're going to run away from him as well because they'll
They know when Bill's in a mood not to get too close.
Yeah, they'll take their cut to their rum rations for the day. It's worth it.
To be fair, it's a situation. Worst case scenario is when Bill dies. Then they're not in trouble.
Well, here's the hoping. All right, so that takes care of the crew. And actually, the captain's going with them, and the captain's probably barking orders at them, too. I mean, he's instructing them to, get themselves to a safe position. He's sort of corralling the men since they're probably all running in circles like chickens with their heads cut off.
Yeah.
And after the crew is Sunny.
Could I have had my dagger out as the way that I was freeing the prisoners?
Yes, that would seem reasonable to me.
In that case, I'm going to try to stab this warrior with my dagger, because I have a slightly higher fighting die.
Okay, absolutely.
And I'm going to Benny that. 5.
5 will hit.
That will be 16 damage.
All right, you are able to land a vital blow, and he drops, and he is out of there. And now the only Ugogs left on the battlefield are the two of them standing around Morgan.
Morgan thinks this will be a good adventure story to tell later.
And we're going to move on to the Ugogs. But at the beginning of their turn, don't worry, Bobby, I don't want to disappoint you. Out of the pool rises a giant monk ape. It's nearly 20 feet tall once it rises all the way out.
Oh, snap.
This is a gigantic animal.
I'm going to interrupt and take my action.
Good thinking.
So, I'm assuming the captain and the men are at least somewhat near me at this point.
Yeah, I didn't roll for him, but I'm just going to have them move full movement. And
So I'm going to quickly, since speaking's a free action, tell the captain, this way to the ship, just head there, it's about this far, and then dive into the tree line as my action. And then I'm going to slowly start creeping my way around, staying undetected.
where are you trying to move to? Away from him?
No, towards him, but
Okay.
staying on the outskirts, kind of the route they originally went that I ran away from because I wanted my arm.
The last two Ugogs on Morgan are they'll make their attacks. And I rolled 2 2s for the attack dice.
Huzzah!
So they just go to swing and they just headbutt each other.
Do they have any reaction to the giant gorilla rising out of the pool?
Nah. Right, that's pretty normal for them, right? It's like standard
Happens
procedure.
all the time. Typical Friday.
Yeah.
I feel like the kid with homework, but I should ask, is there a fear check when this thing shows up?
You know, I don't think there was.
Okay.
There's no fear rating on him or anything.
Okay, then yeah, fine. Unless it says fear.
Yeah, I don't think anything in 50 Fathoms invokes fear.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the setting, but like the big villains are witches, so it's worth asking.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Except probably everybody knows that, actually.
Yeah.
Just generally.
All right. So they both missed, and that brings us back to the top. All right. So first up with the Joker, though, is Sani. And everyone take your Benny in case you didn't already.
Also, for those keeping track at home, we are 5 Jokers in.
Oh my god. Wow.
How long this gigantic ape thingy is rampaging up through the pool, right? About how long does it look like? Can I tell how long it's going to take before this thing is ready to rampage?
Yeah, he looks pretty rampage ready.
Yeah, I assume this turn he's going to start his rampage.
I'm going to take my dagger, swear at the thing, which it probably catches its attention, and then run. Is Morgan on my side of the pool or the other side of the pool?
So you are on the short side. He is on the one of the adjacent sides.
Is he close, or is Morgan close, or far away?
I will rule that you can get there with a full movement. You don't have to make a running roll.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. There's 2 Ugak, so I'm gonna try to stab one of them.
Okay.
I presumably have a gang up bonus.
Yeah. Yep. You would.
However, since I rolled a 2 and a 3, I'm going to Benny that. 4. Plus 1 is 5.
Well, so hold on. I'll let you. You can take the Benny back if you want. You rolled a 2 plus the gang up bonus of 1. No, was that right? Hold on.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4. My first one was a 4. I rolled a 3 and I added 1 in. If I add 1 in for the gang up bonus, I could get a. Oh yes, and I have a Joker.
Yeah, and you would have hit with the 4 anyways because they have a wild attack penalty.
Yeah.
And actually with the Joker, yeah, even better. But yeah, so you can't hit with the first one. You can keep the Benny.
Yeah. Can I Benny damage or?
No, we are not running that setting rule.
You have to take that.
But you do get the +2.
Then 8.
Okay, that's not bad. You are able to. Oh, you pick high or low.
Low.
All right, let's see what I can roll for you. Because one of them was shaken, and because I don't use a battle map, we have to decide if you hit the one that was shaken or not.
Yeah.
You did not. I didn't have the other one unshake last turn either. I'm terrible at this. I'm just awful.
Remembering to unshake is so awful. I constantly just forget they're shaken.
Yeah, I have like shaken markers and like write it down on a piece of paper. None of it matters. All right, so that concludes that. Next up is our new friend, the giant monkey.
Yay!
But what I'm going to have him do is, because he doesn't have anything to hit people with, and he's a sophisticated giant monkey that prefers a weapon in his hands, he's going to walk over to the tree line and rip a tree out of the ground to arm himself.
Oh.
Hopefully I'm not revealed.
The tree that you were hiding behind.
I wish we could
If you
climb
give
tree.
me a Benny, I'm so okay with being revealed. It might kill me, but it's just too funny.
Hilarious.
No, I'll say that he didn't. Although I do kind of like the idea of giving you a Benny and then watching him squish you with it next round. If you had climbed a tree, though, I probably would have said he picked up the tree that you were in. And now he's. And we're going to end that for him right there. That'll be his round. So Jokey is next.
And how far away is the giant monkey from me?
You could reach him if you wanted to.
No. Nope, I do
No,
not.
no.
I specifically do not want to do that.
Yeah, no, he's far away. He probably cleared that distance in like 2 big steps.
Okay.
So he can reach you no matter where you are, is what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am actually, since I'm in pretty bad shape, and I'm right on the edge of the pool. I'm just going to get up and run into the woods or the jungle on the east side to try and get as far away from him as possible.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So I'll allow you to run, and then when it comes up, we can roll a stealth check if he pursues you. But I think there's enough people on the open terrain. We don't have to worry about that just yet.
Okay, and I rolled a 6 on my run.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you make it a good bit into the woods, and you've put some distance. Now, you are on the opposite side from where you came from. Like if you're heading back to the ship, you're going the wrong way.
Great.
But that's it's probably still safer.
I'm still not running towards that thing.
Fair enough. And after that, we have the Ugar. I'm going to have them both unshake. And one unshook, and one did not.
Are you remembering their +2?
They both unshook. Thank you, Bobby. They will divide and conquer. The one will attack Morgan, and one will attack Sani. Because they're savages, not strategists. And I rolled... Oh, nice. I rolled a 1 and a 2. Looks like my luck has run out on the D8 for today.
Thank God. At least for now.
Yeah.
Oh no, we might live.
Shucks. This was a secret one-shot. I didn't tell you guys.
You just really hated all the characters.
New show.
Like,
It's like the cruelest gaming prank show. New show, secret one-shot. The first half is session 0 where everyone gets real excited and preps, and then the second half is session 1 where you slaughter them.
They have a game for that. It's called Lamentations of the Flame Princess. All right, Morgan is going to act next.
Okay. I think rather than trying to reload, I might just use my pistol as an improvised weapon and try to club this guy to death.
Okay.
Nothing is working. One of them's still shaking, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
No, they both unshook. Because he had the bonus.
Oh, yeah, right, because the bonus. Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks,
So that
Bobby.
gives me a -1 on the attack.
Yeah, -1 attack and -1 parry.
Hey, that does mean his tree's improvised too.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't snake eyes, but I certainly didn't hit. I got a 1.
Okay.
But I didn't roll a 1.
Right. Reduced to a 1.
Yeah, I'm just not going to re-roll that. I'm going to save this Benny in case I need to do another vigor roll or a death roll.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I hope I don't kill everybody, but it's possible. Dr. Glug is going to act next.
All right, I have a very crucial question, and I doubt it's going to be what I want. They obviously took the supplies too. Are they anywhere to be seen, the supplies from the ship?
Let me roll for you.
Good.
Yeah, we had a few powder kegs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that the supplies are off in a corner somewhere.
How far am I from the supplies?
You are.
I'm at the southeast corner. Or no, southwest corner.
Yeah, I imagine the supplies being even before you said that the northwest. You'd have to cross the entire long length.
That's fine. That's fine. I will do that. If I run hidden through the trees, I can, in theory, get up to 24 yards a turn.
But don't you have to run right by the ape?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's your guys' job, okay?
We're about to distract him. I don't think it matters.
Thank God, I got a 5.
I'm in perfect position to grab the supplies, but I'm also berserk, so...
Yeah. So 11, so I make it 22 yards just dashing, trying to stay as much in the trees, but Because honestly, I'm like a raptor right now. Like, there's animals in the trees. He's not worried about them.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sure.
And are you trying to remain hidden the best you can?
Best I can, yeah.
Okay, I might call for a stealth check.
Yeah.
At some point.
Okay.
And last up for
Sometime
this
between now and then.
time around is going to be Bill.
All right. There's still Ugaks to be had. All right. I made a roll to determine if he just goes after the monk ape. But he's going to go after the Ugaks. There's still 2 of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to run over and just take a swing at one. Well, that should do it. That's an 11 to hit.
Okay. Yeah.
And damage 14.
That will do it.
Cool.
All right. Now, I already dealt up the next round. There wasn't any jokers.
Okay.
Just put everyone's mind at ease.
If you say the monkey has a joker, I'm just packing it in.
No, but he does act first.
Okay.
So let me think about my battlefield and where everybody is. So the monkey's going to turn around, and with this giant tree, it's a regular-sized tree, and actually looks quite small in his hand. Well, I should specify, it specifically says that these are small trees that they use as weapons.
Oh, good.
How much do you think a small tree weighs?
How small are we talking?
Small enough to be considered a club for a 20-foot tall monkey, so I guess we're really talking about maybe like 5 to 6 foot tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
100
wouldn't weigh
pounds.
very much.
A couple 100 pounds at most.
Yeah, and if it wasn't very thick, it wouldn't even weigh that much.
Yeah, so if it's like a 6 foot tree, probably like maybe 100 pounds at most.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, here's what he's going to do. He's going to turn around, and the 3 crewmen that are fighting the last Ugak there beside the pool, he's going to throw the tree at the entire melee.
Great.
So I will allow everyone an agility check to get out of the way.
All right, I got a 6.
I got an 11.
I got a 9.
All right, excellent. And that's with everyone, including any penalties they had, right? All right, let's do the Ugak. Oh, and the Ugak gets a 3.
Oh, nice.
So
Sad.
I do feel pretty bad for him, I'll be honest.
Nobody wants to get hit with a tree.
No.
Hey, he might survive. We don't know what the damage is.
Yeah, this is where we now get to find out just how dead we all are.
Well, I can tell you the number if you want. It's actually not even the most I've dealt this combat. So.
Oh, so less than 19.
No, he did 21. I did 24 damage in one of these rounds.
I think I remember that.
I'm surprised Jokey remembers anything after that.
Wham!
So he throws the tree, and you guys all dive out of the way. And the Ugak does not. And he is just crushed by this. It's pretty much a big sapling, but it's enough to kill a man.
Just skewered on branches.
And now we are left here with a giant monkey, and it is Bill's turn.
Oh, God. Well, Bill can't make it to the monkey at this point.
Correct.
Could you do like a trick on him?
I can try and intimidate him.
I was just gonna say, beat your chest.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You can't point behind him and say, "Look, Kraken."
I don't think Bill's smart enough to do that. So instead, he is just going to scream and just like bang on his chest and try and look as scary as possible. What is my intimidate? Okay, good. I do have a fine intimidation.
I was waiting for I'm untrained.
Does Berserk give you a bonus to intimidation?
Does what?
Berserk?
No, I was just thinking that. Like, I feel like it should, but no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right.
What Berserk needs is more bonuses.
So I'm going to Benny. It's a 7.
Okay. Well, he's going to oppose that.
Hopefully, monk apes have very low spirit. They're very cowardly, actually.
They're known for their cowardice.
Yeah.
He has a pretty high spirit, but he did not do well with it.
Oh, cool.
So he failed. And you have intimidated a...
The big question is it with a raise? Because then he'd be shaken.
Actually, you know what? He had it is with a raise. I only rolled a 3.
We just went from Kong to Mighty Joe Young.
He's like, did this dude just scream at me after I threw a tree?
His feelings get hurt, his eyes well.
Maybe I screamed something in the Ugak language. I don't even know what it means. It's like I've heard it said before.
I remember my father saying it to me all the time.
Yeah.
A question on Intimidate. Does that give everyone a +2 on attacks or just you?
It depends if you're using the rules in Flash Gordon or Deluxe.
Yeah, if you're using the Deluxe rules, it's just me, which stinks, but...
Yeah, and I don't particularly like that because it's really lame.
I believe in the new rules, it's actually technically tests of wills are now distractions, so he takes -2 to everything.
Yeah, it takes
tricks
-2.
are vulnerable, everyone gets +2.
Yeah. I'd be cool with using those rules for this game if everyone else is. I mean, it's Dan's call in the end, but...
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't know them very well, so I'll be referring back to people that are more familiar with them. I haven't read or played Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Me either, but me and Mike use those rules all the time.
Yeah. Things that fix the game a little bit.
So is it a -2 to parry then for him?
No, it's -2 to all his actions. Is what
to his actions. Okay.
Yeah. It cleans up the game a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Jokey is going to act next.
Okay, so again, I'm pretty far away. I'm gonna just kind of sneak through the east side of the jungle, so that I kind of come up behind where Morgan and Sonny and Bill are.
Okay. I'll just allow you to move. I won't make you roll for the run die.
So I'm now just kind of behind them in the trees, and I'm just like, Bill, what do we do? What do we do?
And then he's just roaring at the thing.
Bill,
stop! That's not helping. And then the thing goes scared, and we're like, oh, it is helping.
Dr. Glug is next.
All right, I'm continuing my dash through the tree. I really shouldn't roll the die I'm using as a bunny. I'm continuing my dash through the trees towards those supplies.
We'll make it on the next one without the run. Just the standard 6 will be enough to get you there.
Sweet.
And Sonny is next.
I start reloading my pistol and I move 6 squares back towards the tree line.
Okay, so you can get into the tree line if you want with 6 with your regular pace. So we can do that, and then you'll need one more round to finish reloading. But we can use the same reload rules I used. That if you make an agility check on your next round, instead of taking the whole round, you can reload and act with a multi-action penalty.
Okay.
But we'll decide that next round. And last up is Morgan.
I'm going to take the round to reload, and because I'm a heroic, I'm not going to go back to the trees. I'm going to stand with Bill.
Good, Morgan. I need you reloaded for next round. I have a plan.
But yeah, I'm not going to do any other actions because I don't want the penalty next turn when I shoot.
Okay.
Also, Red Bill, do you have throwing?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Good, Red Bill.
All right. Sonny is going to start us on the next round.
Okay. I'll make that agility check just to see what happens.
Okay. And it's at a -2.
I get a 1.
All right. So you'll still reload, but you won't be able to. It'll take the whole round instead of being able to expedite it.
Can I start moving towards the gigantic thingy?
Yeah. You can move as well. He's on the other side of the pool, so if you want to just get as close as you can step to the edge of the pool, or if you want, you can start heading around the pool.
I'm going to start heading around the pool. I want as good a shot as I can get.
Jokey is next.
So I am going to... Actually, I'm going to hold my action.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, let's see if he can unshake.
No +2. No +2. Please, no +2.
No, he does not get the +2. But he does unshake. He'll spend the round uprooting another tree.
He takes a -2 to that.
No, unshaking's a free action.
Actually, distracted does give a -2 to it.
Right. The pulling up the tree is the action, right?
So
Yeah.
how long would he stay distracted for?
Just the one round, though.
Just the one.
For one
Distraction
round.
only lasts for a round.
All right, I'll roll some strength for him. It's a D12 +2, so
Yeah.
I think he can.
I'm assuming he unshook with better than a 6 or better than a 5.
Well, yeah, 'cause he gave him a -2 to unshake as well. So
Yeah, that's more what I was saying. The big thing is distract also is -2 to unshake.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't even think about that. He wouldn't have unshaken then.
Ooh.
I rolled
Yeah.
a 5.
Yeah,
Right.
it makes tests of will actually really something in combat now.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. That's okay. Yeah, he's shaking. He's just so mad at Red Bill right now. He's just yelling back and pounding on his chest, and now they're in
He is
the.
the most
Nice.
incredulous giant gorilla we've ever seen.
I mean, that is technically true.
All right. After that, we are going to move on to Dr. Glug.
Oh, thank God.
I'm really
I was
glad
hoping I could get before them because I can hop out. Now, the supplies, I'm assuming there's some guns there and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, there would be some guns, including like pistols, probably a couple muskets. I'll say there was a crew of 20 guys, probably like 4 muskets.
All right.
Obviously, swords and things of that nature.
All right. I am untrained. However, I'm going to begin shouting things at people. So I'm going to basically go, Bill, I need you to roll the biggest keg of black powder we have at that thing's feet. Morgan, get ready to fire when you can. We're going to need to hold actions and time this.
Yeah.
And then my action, just in case, is I'm going to multi-action. I'm going to grab a gun and like try and start reloading it with stuff around there.
Okay. So
I do need to make the agility. And since it's the second thing I'm doing, if I fail, I just don't,
yeah.
I would say.
So would all the rest of us have to run to reach where the supplies are? And could we do it in one turn?
Yeah, you could do it in one turn. I'll say
On the plus side, if we're rolling it to his feet, if you're shooting at the barrel, you just have to be line of sight to the barrel.
Yeah.
But we're not near the barrels, right?
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I need Bill to be. I know Bill said he was actually heading towards the supplies like 3 rounds ago, I thought.
Yeah, I moved
Yeah.
up, but I
Yeah.
didn't move.
Yeah. All right, and I rolled a 10 to reload, -2, so an 8.
Okay. Yeah, with the raise, I'll say that you were able to reload it rapidly in one round, and you'll be ready. And next up is Bill.
All right. Yeah, so he's going to move towards the supplies.
Yeah, roll a run for me, and I'll say you make it with a 4 or better.
All right, rolled a 5. So he gets to the supplies, and there's kegs of black powder there. I'd probably just start shoving one towards toss it towards, I don't know how close we are to the monkey, but.
It'd be about 15 to 20 yards.
Okay, so not that far.
Yeah.
No.
All right, then, yeah, I'd turn a barrel on its side and give it a shove.
Okay.
So strength at -2, I guess?
Yeah, we'll do strength instead of throwing, since it's more of just giving it a good push.
Yeah, because I imagine it's too big to actually throw, right?
Oh, God, yeah, I can't imagine. Those barrels must weigh a ton full of powder.
Plus, it'll
depends.
take longer to get to him, which will give people time to
That's true.
shoot it.
Yeah, okay, here it comes. All right, that's a 4.
All right. So you push this keg off, and it's rolling in the right direction. It seems to be going straight. It's just not going very fast. It will get there.
I mean, I assume the thing's going to move towards us, too.
That's quite possible.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't move past it before people can shoot.
Well, if it's moving slow, maybe the barrel will be right behind it, and then it blows up its ass.
So next is Morgan.
So if the barrel's not close enough to it,
You can just hold your action if that's what you're waiting for.
yeah, that's true. I could also take. Could I take an aim action?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take an aim action. So next turn, I'll get a better shot at it.
That's perfect. And Jokey still has a held action, but that will be the end of the turn.
But do I get to stay on hold into the next round, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I will do that.
Okay.
And the ape is no longer at this point is no longer distracted, right?
Right, but shaken.
He is still shaken, but he's not distracted anymore. All right, let's see if he can unshake again.
Oh, yeah, he's at the top.
Yeah, he got an ace. And he got a 6 to unshake.
All right.
So he's going to unshake, and he's going to pull up a tree and get himself a new club. See, after that is Sani.
How close is... I think I'm going to start aiming at the barrel, too. At the barrel. I'll take the aim maneuver. Do I have to specify what I'm... Let me rephrase my question. If I take the aim action, do I have to aim at a specific thing?
Yes, but if you said I'm aiming at the barrel, even though it's moving, I would allow that.
Okay. Then I'm aiming at the barrel.
Okay. Perfect. So on your next turn, you'll get a +2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a target, and that counts for moving, because you can aim at a person, they can still move.
Right.
In action. As long as you don't lose line of sight.
Okay.
After that is Bill.
All right, Bill is going to just roar and go up and boot that barrel to get it rolling faster.
Okay.
So, strength again?
Yeah, give me a strength. And if you succeed, then I'll say that it gets there. Perfect. So the barrel is ready, and Dr. Glug is next.
All right, interesting. Because my plan wasn't to personally shoot at the barrel. Because I'm a bad shot, but I got this big old stack of bennies.
Yeah, but even if you miss, I mean...
Now, I got a different plan. It's a harder shot, because I got a big old stack of bennies.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to shoot it in the eye.
Okay.
Do it.
It's a vital shot. That's a -4. I don't know what range I'm at, but I figure if I grab, the best ranged weapon, I should be good. Because you said there were some.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
I imagine there were rifles and stuff.
10, 20, 40.
You got a +2 because he's large.
Yeah.
I'm
untrained.
That means his eyes. Well, there you go. So now it's like you have a D4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I counts as a vital shot, which is -4. But if I hit him, it can blind him, just in case this doesn't work.
That's true.
And I'm looking for the stats on the musket.
Right. I got it up.
Okay.
All right. First Benny. Second Benny. So third Benny. 8 -4 is a hit. Here's the thing. Aiming doesn't give you bonus damage, I don't believe.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But the vitals gives you +4 damage.
Yep.
The musket is 2d8. 12 + 4, 16 damage, and I shot one of his eyes.
All right.
Yeah, if that's not even a wound, we're pretty screwed.
You said 16?
16.
No, that is one wound.
If it has,
Yay.
if it has natural armor, I assume that might bypass it.
Oh. Yeah, eye does typically bypass full plate and stuff.
I believe it's only size based, but let me just pull up.
Yeah, they love to have thick hide.
Yeah. That's how my group killed a maze dragon. Well, it's not that they killed it, but until they started wounding it.
Yeah, it's just a size +6.
Anything required. Or the one-eye hindrance, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking up.
It'd be really cool if we dealt this thing 3 wounds and it ran away and we came back at some point and met it again. It was all scarred up.
such as shooting or throwing. So it
Okay.
wouldn't affect fighting, but anything range.
Oh, don't forget it's -1 to charisma.
Oh yeah, that's what it matters.
Until he gets a big monkey eye patch.
Oh man, then it's like +20.
Well, this is a pirate game after all.
Yeah.
All right. Try to stay a little on focus here. Morgan. Morgan is the next one.
All right, I guess I'll take a shot for that barrel.
Oh, I apologize, Susan. I skipped you because I flipped your initiative card over when you went on hold. So you were at the top. I will allow you to act if there's something you were like, man, I've been waiting. I don't know why my turn hasn't come yet.
No. I'm just on hold because the minute the ape starts to take an action towards anybody, I'm going to run out and try and distract it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So just let me know.
So I'm kind of at the edge of the jungle waiting on the opposite side of it.
Perfect. That is you, Morgan.
All right, I'm going to shoot for the barrel. So with the aim maneuver, I got a +2, which negates my wound penalties. All right, 5. That does it. Do I have to roll damage for the barrel since it's gunpowder? Or...
Well, I didn't plan on you guys creating an improvised black powder explosive. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I looked to see in case there was one in the book, but there isn't. At least not in the player's section.
Well, there's powder as explosive in the 50 Fathoms book, page 30. It says a cask of gunpowder causes 5d6 damage in a large burst template.
Nice.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah, I looked right. I figured it'd have bigger text to show you.
Powder. I'm going to rule that the powder ignites. I have no idea if black powder would ignite if it's hit with a pistol shot.
It's Savage Worlds. Would it happen in a movie?
Yeah.
And it's going to happen now because I think we really need it to happen now. Aside from this horribly long combat, we really got to kill this monkey. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So 5d6.
Yep, this is where we roll 5 damage.
All right.
No, roll. You gotta explode all those dice, Josh.
25.
25 toughness. That leaves him with 1. Oh, you know what? You guys have been able to incapacitate him
Because of the one wound I gave him?
Yeah.
Yes. Not a plug.
And now
I kind of wish I held and did it after, so like it blew up and he was standing and I just shot him in the head.
You look cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something though, and this is the last thing to deal with for this situation. Does anybody know what is the measurement of a large burst template?
6 inch in diameter.
I think it's 6, yeah. So I don't think Bill is in that blast radius.
If you're within 3 inches of him, basically.
Okay,
in any
yeah.
direction.
Here it is. Okay, I was looking at like the actual large burst template that's on the page before in core. All right. Well, in that case, you guys are all free from the burst template and free from this monkey. Barrel explodes right into the monkey's feet, and it's such a massive eruption that it literally throws him up through the air like you see in an action movie where he's just obviously not very high because he is a giant monkey, but he gets airborne and he just comes crashing down and he does not get back up again.
Excellent.
Oh, poor baby.
Bill is going to run over and start hacking at it with his axe. Screaming.
That's a good idea, Bill. You did say we needed provisions.
Yeah, we got monkey meat for days.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to make my unberserk roll. See if I can do this. So he runs over and is hacking at the monkey all crazy for a minute. Then after a second, just like takes a couple deep breaths, calms down, and then pulls out his skinning knife and just starts butchering the monkey quietly.
I'm the
Good
creepy
idea,
one.
Bill.
Jesus.
Good idea, Bill. We need the food.
so I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna be like, woo, 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 and very excited. I'm gonna run over to Morgan. Amazing! That was so amazing. You know what? You can keep 5 of that gold. I'll just take the other 5.
You all owe me arms.
Morgan points to some of the Ugoks on the ground, and I was like, they've got arms.
Plenty of arms.
Look, the ape thingy also has arms.
It won't fit in the jar.
Bigger jar.
Big
Put some of
pieces.
its fingers
There's
in it.
lots of pieces.
Other than that, I'm going to say, Doc, if you got a minute, I could probably use a little help over here.
Yeah. So you're at 3 wounds, right?
Yes.
Okay. So before anything, come here because my medical equipment will be with the supplies.
Oh, right. Great. So I go over to you.
All right. D8 healing plus 2 minus 3, so minus 1.
Yeah.
7, so I rolled a 6, so I can heal 1 of your wounds.
Thank you.
Well, we're not done yet. We're not done yet, lady.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
It's gonna be another 10 minutes, but 3 power points. As I do a D6 magic and start covering you in water from the provisions.
Oh, thank you.
And chanting. So now you're just at a -2, but I still get +2 because it includes magical healing, but I also have my wound. I'm going to Benny that. There's nothing more I can... Oh, no. +2 is a 5, minus... Oh, no, those washed out. So, yeah, no, nothing more the elements deemed suitable for you.
That's okay. Thanks for trying. I'm feeling better already.
All right.
My turn.
Let's say, who's up next? How many wounds you got, Morgan?
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
And all this time, Bill is just sitting, like, in the monk ape, just carving it up.
I'm gonna start organizing this. I'm gonna take whatever supplies I can carry over to the ship or back to the beach.
So 6, that heals 1 wound, and then I'm going to do some magic for you. So this is 10 minutes each, so we'll be at 40 minutes at this point.
Just enough time for me to finish my butchery.
I was about to say,
It's
so do you want to go get the cowards and get them back to carry all this stuff?
So
I'm already carrying a bunch of stuff back to the beach.
Not any
Most
better
of the
for you.
really portable stuff.
So just
actually,
1 wound.
well, yeah, just 3. So you healed 1 wound. Then I'm going to operate on myself, which is double penalties, -2, but I get +2, so flat roll. I really care more about myself because I just rolled a 9.
Strap on those leeches.
So I can do 1 more heal check if anyone else needs. Actually, who's worse off? Jokey, you still have 2 wounds, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, then, I will do 1 last bit of magic. So put me at 9 power points deep. But I can do magic multiple times, unlike natural medicine.
All within the golden hour, too.
Yep.
Barely.
Apparently, yeah.
4. You know what? Yeah, I'll heal the 1 wound. We should be fine. I have 20 power points.
So I'm just down to 1.
Well, last 10 minutes, I'm going to do 1 more, which is exactly 4. So you're full. Morgan's at 1 wound.
Thank you so much.
I got to take a nap. 12 hours.
Isn't that where you just pour water all over them?
I pour water and chant. Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
And I'm just going to run over. Bill, that was amazing. Oh my God, that was awesome.
He just looks up at you and he's just covered in, like, viscera from the monk ape, and it's just like,
Yeah. I'll leave you alone.
So you guys get all the supplies back to the boat. It's mostly the things you need: compasses, maps, carpenter's tools, and those sorts of things. You got your provisions that you've gathered. You probably can go back and find the bag or basket of mangoes that were dropped.
Thank you.
But the really cool thing I like about 50 Fathoms is they have this thing called the booty table, and when you get loot, it's randomly generated like old D&D style. So I'm going to roll on the booty table now for you guys.
So when does that happen? After every time you kill a bad guy, or?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, as long as you like stop and like search and like, hey, what do we find?
Yeah.
Sort of situation. But where you guys are,
notice it at first, but at the feet of the statue.
Yeah, and I think some of this too is intended for like what you recovered from your own, like the captain's chest of like money was taken, and this is what's recovered after whatever was lost in like the situation.
Yeah. And also like the shaman's carrying something cool or...
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, the monkey has really good like loot. He has like the second level loot, like pillage. So it goes loot, pillage, plunder, and then king's ransom.
Nice.
I love like so we'll start with 10 times 10, 100. 1100. I guess gold. There's not really any set money in this. It's just referred to as dollars.
Yeah, I tend to call it coin on my stream.
Yeah.
That sounds piratey.
Yeah, they said like there's like all different kinds. There's like actual like Charybdis money, and then like the visitors bring like doubloons and like pieces of 8, and there's just all this money just mixed up, and nobody can keep track of the economy.
Yeah.
Great.
It's just a big mess.
So,
And then I have to roll
1100.
1100, and then I have to roll. There's a relic table too. You guys can find a relic. So no relic tonight.
That's fair.
And so we'll deal with getting the boat fixed and off the beach, and where we carry on to next. I'd like to say, I'm going to end the recording in a second. So thank you everyone for being here. I had a really great time with session 1 as we worked out some of the kinks and getting going and realizing that I don't know any of the rules, and that's why I brought Bobby on as a player. And I look forward to getting on to the next session.
I hope you enjoyed our episode today, and if you did, let us know. You can join us on Facebook and Google+. You can reach us by email, or you can leave us a rating and review here on iTunes, which helps us out quite a bit. If you'd like to help the show more than that, you can visit our Patreon. All the information's in the description below. Cheers.